Ready? Okay. Hello and welcome. We are 4 beers in. I am Brendan.
I am at least 5 beers in. Matt.
Marco.
Tammy.
You guys didn't want to say how many beers you were in?
I don't know.
4, I think.
This may be the first time I've outdrank Tam.
What?
Ooh.
She's
Well,
usually-
It's hard to say because I've never been empty. I just keep topping.
She's
So
usually
how do you know
well.
how many
I know by the way you're acting, and you haven't tried to set me up with any married women yet. So usually you're lit by the time I
might
even
have
show
one
up.
on the side. You
Oh
don't know
yeah,
yet.
oh
I think
yeah.
it depends if she
Were you
goes
holding
on
out on me?
that chopped rant.
My chop brand.
I don't
a
like you
good
holding out on me,
indicator.
Tammy.
Uh-oh.
You know how frustrated I get.
That's awesome. Well, we were definitely some beers in, which is the whole point of the podcast, and even more so because we chose alcohol, or I chose alcohol for the topic. And we were going to have a guest, but he got a little cold feet, and that's okay.
He actually thinks people listen to this.
Yes.
This is just 4 people talking to ourselves.
Yeah, he was
People
like,
far as I
might
know.
listen to us
Yeah.
someday.
Yeah,
Well-
someday we'll have a single other person.
Someday.
We'll
hit
look
us
into
up
our
with
back
that
catalog.
tweet, because that's the one platform I'm really I haven't used yet is the Twitter.
Twitter?
Which might actually be smart of me. 'cause,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I just my Twitter game is horrible, man. It's not. It's not something I'm familiar with. But anyway, alcohol. So
I'm sorry, but just because you said that, I can't not think of The Simpsons. Alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
yes, and it
Most.
kind of. I mean, it kind of is. And actually, speaking of Twitter, that's my issue. Is when I am on Twitter, it's when I've been drinking, and it's
Don't
usually
tweet and
there's
drive.
yeah.
Wait, is
Don't-
that it?
don't
tweet
think-
and drink.
Don't
drink
tweet.
and drive.
Don't tweet
Which
and
one is
think. It's don't tweet and think.
Yeah, I think
Well,
it's that. That's what
it's-
Trump does.
Yes,
Wait, he thinks.
he
I don't think
he
so.
refuses to think and tweet. He is an absolute model.
It's one or the other.
Tweet
He is
first,
who
think
Twitter was
later.
built for.
Yes,
He is who Twitter was expanded for.
I do typically, when I am on Twitter, it's after or during Rapids games, and I have had 4 beers in, or and it's usually I'm probably not. I'm not helping my Twitter game. I'm not.
You're also not helping the Rapids.
They
Well,
can't
maybe you
help
are.
themselves.
Maybe you
I mean,
are.
I have no idea. They're
Maybe
My
you
favorite
are.
response is WTF, Brendan.
Oh yeah.
My favorite response.
That prompted me to look up who that woman was. Yeah, you should have responded.
Oh man, I did.
Did you? Oh, I never saw you respond.
I did with. I think Marco's
Was there another
picture.
GIF?
Yes.
Don't drink in Photoshop.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, but she was someone pretty prominent, wasn't she? Wasn't she a former player? Wait,
No.
No. She,
Okay.
She's in the broadcasting
Social
world.
media.
Yeah, social
okay,
media
okay.
broadcasting.
Or the broadcasting world is in her. And
In her.
anyways,
There's probably a little of that too. Yes, we question things, but anyway.
long story short, you're no longer allowed on Twitter.
When I'm drinking during Rapids games.
from a band.
I didn't know this,
Yes.
which is funny.
Yeah, I got a little chatting too, and I have to.
I got chatting.
Yeah, and I promise that
If you
Did
go
you get
back a few episodes, this is related to Brendan's catfishing story.
Did you get full on bitched out, or was it a texting situation?
it was a texting situation.
Oh, it should have at least been a Zoom bitch out. It should
no,
have been
no,
a get the fuck in my office kind of situation.
I didn't cross that line. I guess to a point where.
Oh, really? WTF, Brendan wasn't that line?
I guess not.
Because that's your, for all intents and purposes, your editor.
Yeah. It was more of just a reminder of, hey, you also represent. Well, you
Alcohol
do
is
too.
who you represent.
Yeah, actually,
You
that's
are-
true because I do more shows and have done more shows alcohol based. I mean, whether it's
Yeah.
Untapped, 4 beers in, and even with the current, we kind of drinking is always involved. So if you don't know me and drinking, then you
This-
don't know me, man.
This is Brendan's intervention.
Oh,
Please
no.
drink and tweet responsibly. It's
Yeah.
going to be
So I guess with alcohol, we could talk about like stupid moments that we remember or don't remember or vaguely remember based on certain alcohol.
Well,
because
alcohol is
I was
so
not asked
broad.
to sign a waiver for this, so
maybe
I
well,
refuse.
Hey, that's why he got cold
Immunity,
feet.
right? Immunity rules.
He was like, "Wait a minute!" And I signed
Wait,
a severance with.
Is he going
Avery,
to
so-
criminalize himself?
I mean, do you go back to when you're a teen and it's Mad Dog?
Yeah,
And you're
absolutely.
God.
like
Because
15.
my
buying-
first like
This is going to
major.
get
Like-
embarrassing.
Well, I wish it was because
No.
for me, my first. Oh, for you.
I'm so lame. I don't think I drank as a teenager.
Really?
Wait, so when was the first time you can like recall like drinking? The
I
alcohol?
remember one of the worst mistakes of my life, except
that's
my
usually how
marriage,
it-
was my
No.
first legal drink was a Heineken, and oh god, I hate Heineken. I've
That's
hated
'cause
it
it's in a
since.
anything in a green bottle. And
Yeah.
I used to drink
Yeah.
Rolling Rock, so it just depends on.
Same thing for
Yeah.
me. You can put
It could get stumpy.
interchange them. Yeah,
Yeah.
I regret that Heineken is my first legal drink.
But you didn't. I mean, how old were you?
21, my first legal drink on my 21st
Well,
birthday.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah. But before that, I might have sipped a Coors. I definitely sipped a Michelob from my dad when I was very little. I didn't have good beer until I learned about Fat Tire from my older brother. And Fat Tire remains one of the best beers on this earth.
It's probably the best name.
I haven't
ever,
found its
yeah.
equal.
Yeah.
I mean, I found its
That's a good
equal.
one.
I haven't found a lot better.
Gotcha.
But there's a lot as good. Fat Tire is my go-to. A great beer. My son has had his first sip of Fat Tire. That was his first sip of beer. Was a Fat Tire.
You think you guys
I
were about
loved
the
that
same
as a kid,
age?
though.
No, well, maybe because I was definitely sub 7 because my dad died at 7, and I had a sip of Michelob before that.
Oh, okay.
My son, we went camping to Yellowstone when he was 11, and that's when he had his first sip of.
Nice. In the
yeah.
camping trip.
Yeah,
So
I
at
like
least
the
you gave him
sipping
that
there.
it
memory
was a
there
real
too.
nice moment,
Yeah.
and since then he's refused to have another sip of beer.
That was probably smart on you, dude.
And I just tell him, you know how lucky you are that it wasn't Michelob.
Oh,
Someday, you'll be cool. But to be
Beer's gotten
fair,
better
he
since
also
I was a kid.
that's funny. I was mid sip of beer.
we both were, and then it went deadly silent.
Yeah, the
But
other
I
two
love
didn't
that
pick
as
up.
a memory as a kid too, because I'm the fourth. I'm the baby out of 4, and I used to love sipping beer, and I didn't like it either. But I think you just wanted to be like.
It's a special thing.
It
It's
is. It
forbidden
really is.
fruit, literally.
Uh-huh.
It's forbidden, and here's your parents like, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're with me. You're safe.
right.
It's the ultimate "you're safe" statement.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why I don't like beer flavor. 'Cause I remember like
You're like I like
the
berry.
same situations, like sip a beer and like, oh, this tastes gross. And
Yeah.
then that's also probably why I didn't drink till I could legally drink.
But that's the
Like,
thing.
Yeah,
beer-
but there's
beer
other
tastes
stuff that
gross.
doesn't taste like. I mean,
But that's
But I
the
wasn't
thing.
a partier in high school, so I wasn't like exposed to like jungle juice and all that high school.
jungle. Actually,
high
I
school
shouldn't laugh
nonsense.
at
The
that.
Mad
That
Dog,
was
like
Yeah.
Cham mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
The
But
what?
the thing is, I never
Mad
told my
Dog.
son
Oh,
he would
yeah.
like it. I told him he
Mad
would.
Dog was bad.
Here's what it tastes like.
I told my,
Robitussin, but alcoholic.
I
Wait,
told my
so
son he was going to
Robitussin.
hate it because you have to acquire a taste for alcohol.
Yes, you.
In
you
fact,
do.
especially beer and
with
wine,
these
depending
kids-
on wine.
With these kids and like shit like schnapps and Fireball, it's like
Oh.
that's what gets you in trouble because it doesn't taste like alcohol. And now
Well,
you're going to
that's-
be stupid.
And that's one of my stories because in high school, I wish I waited until I was 21, but I had to have been 17, 18. And a few of us girls were drinking peach schnapps. And we drank it and we got fucked
Right.
up.
And you
My
don't even
one
take-
friend, Peter Pants, like we just heard water hitting the floor and we were around a table. I'm like, what's the water dripping?
First of all,
My one friend was pissing.
Peter Pan sounds like an awesome porn parody of Peter Pan.
right, Peter Pants.
I would watch Peter Pans.
Pans. But from that day on, so we drank so much peach schnapps, we were fucked up.
Can we
and
make
were
the title
pissed.
Peter Pants instead of alcohol?
Yeah, that's
But
not
I
a bad
peaked on
idea.
it, and
right?
now I cannot drink anything that's fake peach flavors, anything.
Yeah, Tam is going in the direction where I was going as
Wait, so that was your peach schnapps?
Yeah.
Well, because we would drink it that night. My friend Peter Pans.
Peter Pants.
Peter Pans.
What was her name though?
Peter
Peter
Pants.
It was
Pants.
Brenda.
Her name was
Sorry,
Peter
Brenda.
Pants, okay.
Brenda Peter Pants.
I doubt she's
Halloween
listening.
costume. That's
Oh,
gonna be
can you
my
retroactively
Halloween
just start calling her
costume.
Peter Pants? And tell her if she wants to know why, listen to this episode.
That would be awesome. But I don't think we've chatted since like.
Oh, you have a
5
reason
years.
now.
I do.
Oh
I
yeah,
have to
especially
look her
when
up.
this goes out on Facebook. Peter Pitts.
I'm not Facebook friends with her, but I do have friends
I got to
that
figure
are
out the
friends with her,
spelling.
which is really sad because we were really, really close at that time.
Well,
You
But I
know.
lived
it's
in the
about time for
country,
a
so we
reunion.
would drive and we would stay at her house and we would get fucked up, but not a whole lot. It was just one of those.
Was it like
anywho.
whatever was available, or was this something that you were able to buy?
I don't remember how we got the peach schnapps that night. We were at her family's, and then her parents were in divorce, so her dad would stay upstairs, her mom would stay downstairs.
Oh,
and
they
I
were
think we had to get
I was gonna
awkward.
say that's weird to say in divorce, but they were in the divorce.
Actually, even after the divorce, they
Oh
stayed
my
like
God.
that. It was very bizarre.
What a loser!
Right.
I'm talking
Awkward.
about both of the parents at that
it
point.
was, well, it was hard on all of us because it was awkward
But
if they were in the
you
same
don't ask for a
room,
divorce
they
till you
tried
can
to stay
afford
out
at
of
least
the
a
room.
studio apartment. Do you have a
But-
friend you can crash with? Come on.
But I
Different
used to
types of
buy. I was
alcohol.
the oldest out of my friends, and I would go in, and they would. This one particular place would tell me, "If you're not 21, you go to hell." And I'm like, "I swear I'm 21. Just give me some beer."
You know what hell is? Sobriety before you're 21. I got to commend you though, because most small town chicks, all there is to do is drink and get pregnant, and you only accomplished one of those things, as
Yeah,
far as I
thank
know.
God it was just the first one.
No,
Yeah, so
I
I gotta
actually-
commend you
I
for
had
that.
morals on the sexual part.
Thank God. I not going to name names, but I have personal experience with small town people, and getting pregnant is like a pastime for them.
Nope. I actually wanted to like someone and be married before
You're
I
a
had
good
sex.
person. That's it.
What
Although I didn't
the
wait, but I waited a long time.
So peach schnapps. That I
can't-
mean, you took it to a point where. So we were talking about our first drinks.
I can
But
have
that wasn't your
peaches, I
first
can
drink,
have
though, was it?
cobblers, but anything that's artificial flavored peach. And even unfortunately, even if it's like a mango, it's too close to the peach. Too
It's
close
like
to
that
the peach.
chemical, that fake.
It is. Like I love
Chemical.
The
Truly in
puree,
certain
the artificial
But if
kinda-
it's like a mango, I can't do it. It just reminds me of that, and yeah, can't do it.
But what was your
Is
first
is
drink
the
alcohol?
vomiting of it? Is that what did it
Oh,
to
I
you?
think so. I
Yeah.
was just
Oh,
so
they're just
When you
straight
taste-
constant.
When you
Yeah.
taste
I had
things
a
in
friend holding
reverse.
my hair. I was puking all night.
So when I lived in Thailand, I got a tick bite, which takes a couple of days to register. The day that it hit me, that evening, I ate like 5 bananas for no reason at all. I think it was my
bananas.
whole dinner. And then I went to bed and I woke up and I puked literally every 20 minutes all night long. And I puked up bananas to the point where I could not even look at or smell a banana for like 10 years. So there's
Banana's
something
a tough one in general too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a dominant
Fake
flavor.
banana flavor is bad, even
It
if you
is,
don't
yeah.
have a bad experience. So adding a bad experience,
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
Once you taste something in reverse, it is ruined for you. I
So
had to.
Matt's favorite liquor is 99 bananas. that little thing you buy at the counter.
Is that a thing? I've
I
Yeah,
never
didn't know
it's
there was a-
awful. It's so awful because I
Oh.
also
That's
I
a
also
great
have
endorsement, dude.
like a banana aversion
No, wait. So
Oh.
banana on top.
from,
So
from being sick once.
Nice
I think.
segue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Well,
like
I love
throwing up.
banana, but I hate fake banana flavor.
So
it's
what happened to you and
bread.
I
bananas?
ruined basically all clear liquor except for gin. I can still
Oh, I like
drink
gin.
gin,
What
but
about
How did that
vodka
happen?
I can't do.
What?
It's
Banana?
from Pink Lemonade flavored UV vodka, the one in the plastic handle. That was the one we ruined in college. I feel like everyone has like one liquor that they've ruined for
Tequila.
themselves.
Well,
Oh,
they
see,
can't-
tequila's a whole
wait,
different story.
wait
It's
for
not
our
a
tequila
flavor,
story.
Though. It's an
Hold on.
attitude with tequila.
Yeah.
That they can't. No, it all comes from like throwing it up and like
You're like, no.
once you've
Tequila.
once you've drank some.
That's exactly,
like,
yeah.
What Matt mentioned is like tasting it in reverse, and then like you can't drink it after.
So
that.
what you're saying is
Meatloaf.
you've
I don't
you've
like
had
Meatloaf 'cause of
that,
that.
like every clear liquor except gin. You've
no
tasted
vodka,
in
yeah,
reverse.
vodka. I can't do
But
vodka anymore.
vodka, sometimes you can get some that are you can't even taste it. Maybe because I like vodka and I can't.
Yeah,
What if you freeze it?
Yeah.
like in
man.
martinis, I can kind of like.
You
Wait
can
a
do
minute,
cold
that's-
martinis,
that's-
too.
well,
The only
yeah.
way I could do Goldschlager is if it was out of the freezer.
Oh, dude.
Goldschlager.
So I got a Goldschlager story. This wasn't. It has to do with me, but it doesn't have to.
Did you ever achieve peeing gold? Because that was the legend. No one could ever achieve that.
No,
I
what
didn't
I
know that
ended up
was a-
achieving
Yes,
was
the
wiping
legend is
puke
if-
off my ceiling.
The legend is if you could drink enough Goldschlager, you would pee gold.
Nope,
That just sounds like a college kid's story to
Yeah.
get somebody to throw
Yeah,
up.
that does. And so that's
You
what.
will die before
The
you reach
other
that
clear
level.
liquor I ruined
Yeah.
was Everclear because there's
Oh
this.
well, dude, come on.
I mixed
Well,
that
there's
with
this
Dr.
drink
I'm
called
gagging
hot apple
thinking
pie
about it.
where you couldn't taste the liquor in it. It just tasted like hot apple pie. So we did like 5+ shots of that.
Before or after you stuck your penis in
I
it.
was just gonna say, I was like, huh.
Here's a fact for you: the state
Liquor,
of
I
California.
barely know her.
The state of California banned Everclear. That's a fact. Right before that happened, I used it as a movie prop in film school where I just poured it in my bathtub and lit it on fire. And I just filmed the fire trail a la Back to the Future
Ah,
in one of the videos that I made. But I only ever sipped it and I put a cap full into a full can of Dr. Pepper. And that's the only Everclear I ever actually tasted because just smelling it would
And that
fuck
was
you
probably
up.
the
It's like
only
rubbing
drink you
alcohol.
needed that
Yeah.
night.
So
Smelling
that's actually
it
like
hurt. That's what Everclear
Everclear
was.
is like to me vodka on steroids.
It's literally gasoline. You could pour it
Yeah.
into
Right.
Mr. Fusion.
it's like
and it
freaking
would-
ethanol, man.
Your car will fly. Yes. You
So
can't.
basically, anything that covers the flavor is dangerous because you're gonna end up throwing up that night, guaranteed.
Yes.
What's the
because
one that's
I-
illegal? Is it Absolute?
Everclear's
Absinthe.
illegal.
Absinthe,
Oh, absinthe. Yeah.
where you put the sugar cube.
I don't
and
know that
like
absinthe
the-
is an actual brand or just an idea because absinthe goes back to ancient Greece.
Well, it used to
Absinthe
be,
is
but I don't
more.
think you can truly
A lot of
get
it is
how people-
stories. It's not actually like a hallucinogenic.
Well, what the fuck is the green liquor you're downing? Is that not the?
it must be a
absinthe?
brand
It's-
name.
no,
then,
it's just liquor.
because Absinthe
It's just
is a.
liquor.
It has like a legend because a lot of writers in like the early 20s, like Hemingway and all them, and Emile Zola, they
Anyone
like,
who didn't shoot himself?
yeah,
there's a
they
movie with
they
Johnny
wrote a
Depp
bunch
that
of
did it. What
stories
movie was
about
that?
absinthe because they were living in France, and like any
Oh,
alcohol
yeah.
will cause. If you drink enough of it, any alcohol will cause those effects, like those hallucinogenic effects. It's just for whatever reason, absinthe got kind of the stigma attached to it.
It's kind of like Appletinis to the 90s.
Absinthe is just basically licorice flavored
Makes you a pussy.
liqueur.
Oh, it's fucking licorice.
yeah.
I'm out.
No. what?
Because when I studied
Mouth.
abroad in France, that was
Nope.
our big one. It was called pastis, and it was just that licorice
have to
flavored
Google
shot
this.
you do.
Nope, nope,
The only-
nope, nope. Not at licorice flavor.
What movie was
Fuck
it with
that.
Johnny Depp that would do that?
Yeah, it was opium.
Fear
that
and
he was
Loathing.
doing.
Fear and Loathing in Las
Well,
Vegas.
And
there
he would
was
do the
Fear and
sugar
Loathing, and then
cube.
there was another one.
Because you're supposed to dilute it, but what people ruin with absinthe is they drink it straight. So that's why they ruin it, because it's licorice flavored,
Ugh.
and
Well,
they just
yeah.
do shots
It's
of
like
it.
Jägermeister.
That's
like
It reminds
ouzo.
me of a medicine.
Jaeger's
Ouzo
Anyone
is
that
the
likes
Greek
it is
one,
not a
and there's
friend
an
of mine.
Italian one too.
Disco Stew's got Uzo for Tuzo. I cannot stop the Simpsons references when they.
That's awesome, dude. Throw it out there.
I had a college friend who would, while he was double fisting Red Bull and vodka, would warn me about the dangers of Red Bull and vodka
It'll
because
stop your heart.
you can't taste the alcohol. It'll get you so fucked up.
That
And
is
he
also
wouldn't
how I
stop.
ruined vodka in college.
I believe
So-
he
Is vodka
described
Red
that
Bulls?
as some kind
What
of
you're
a licorice
saying was,
flavor.
is college ruined you in general as far as clear
Vodka,
liquor?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm
do
sorry, you
vodka.
can't take college as
All right.
you're gonna overindulge in anything in college.
Well,
No, but I
Marco-
know some people that ruin whiskey that way. I'm like, thank God I didn't ruin whiskey that way because I enjoy whiskey now.
Well, Marco, college might have ruined you for certain alcohols, but at least you're unemployable now.
True. Thanks to you.
As my daughter enters her freshman year of college. Oh.
Yeah, but she's only there for a couple weeks, and then she's coming home for
I
3 months.
guarantee
And I'm
you.
like, what the heck?
It's Friday.
Another story
She's
from
drunk
college
right now.
is we used to have like parties on the green, like in the middle of campus. And I was on my way back to my dorm to call it a night. And this girl handed me a water bottle.
I would drink anything a girl handed me right now.
I was like, oh, yes, I need to hydrate. I am so drunk right now. It was filled with vodka, a water bottle.
You hydrated.
And
Hold my pee bottle.
I
she
almost,
could say.
yeah,
I would drink
threw
that.
up on the spot.
Oh my gosh. I feel bad because, like, I mean, we're talking about things that we ruined us, which
What ruined us?
You want to
That's
you want to
not
jump
all
to
about drinking.
do you want to
There's
jump to
positive
what
stuff,
you want to
too.
jump to what ruined all of humanity? Because the legend is that the discovery of alcohol is what changed humanity from hunter gatherers to actual agrarian society.
wait,
We
you're gonna go
accidentally-
historical on us?
Yes.
That's awesome.
At some point, about 11,000 years ago, someone accidentally got drunk and like, I can replicate this. Everybody settle, plant, we'll figure it out. But it was the discovery of alcohol, which is a natural process of rotten fruit, that actually inspired
Actually,
humans
that's very true.
It inspired humans to switch from hunter-gatherer to agrarian. And it's a beautiful story. I couldn't imagine.
And they've actually done scientific studies on other species
Animals commonly get drunk. Yes.
consuming
Yes.
fermented fruit.
Rotting apples will get you drunk, apparently. Animals have known it for thousands and thousands of years.
Well, I lived in the country, so our boredom was making apple cider.
Really? Like for real?
I
Like,
didn't do it. My brothers did.
But not with
Oh.
I drank
Everclear.
it.
But wait,
Never.
is apple cider alcoholic?
Well, all right. So they made hard apple cider.
we're getting our dogs drunk.
So they would hide it in the woods and do whatever they did. I honestly don't know what they
I
did.
thought that was the
I'm the
weed.
baby, so I just drank whatever handed to me.
No,
was
I thought
spoiled.
they
They gave me a
planted
bottle.
weed
I
in the-
sucked on the bottle. I trust.
I thought it was the weed, and the deer ate the weed.
Oh, that'd be
Whole
funny to
nother-
see a
My
deer.
one brother planted seeds, and they didn't ever grow fully because they were eaten. He assumed deer.
Assume deer.
Animals have been living it up for longer than we know.
But that had to be. I mean, obviously, we all learned from somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what kind of alcohol it was. I guess ethanol 11,000 years ago, but that's basically the universal effects of alcohol, or pretty
Grain,
much.
which
Yeah.
vodka is made from.
It may not have been the most delicious thing,
now
but it,
vodka
there's
is
a
grain,
lot- I mean,
potato,
beer.
grape.
This is grain.
And mead.
I mean,
Which is-
well,
love
mead is
I
yeah.
love mead.
Depends on
we gotta
what-
go. We gotta go to a
We,
meadery.
we
There's
do
one
need to
in-
find a. So I found out
Lafayette,
actually.
yeah?
Yeah. Well, I found out why mead. It's because it's made from honey
It tastes sweet.
that we can't technically brew it. Like what we can brew from sugar. We
I'm
can brew
announcing
from
my
wheat.
run for
Like,
state senate so I can change that bullshit law.
Like,
Everyone should be able to brew mead.
Well, I don't understand. I really don't, and neither was the. Yeah, I got the hiccups all of a sudden. But neither was the explanation. But it was just because of the source of the alcohol. They treat it like a distillery.
So like hard liquor.
So exactly. So
Well,
if
the thing
we
about
were
hard
a
liquor is-
distillery, we could do mead, but we can't.
But the
be a
difference
brewery
between-
because we brew beer.
The difference between beer and hard liquor is combustibility, right? I mean, a still can explode if you don't know what you're doing. Can a meadery explode if you don't know what you're doing?
Fuck if I know. That's my education on alcohol and brewing is
It's
is
too bad
not
you're-
at that point.
It's too bad your brewmaster backed out, because I would love to
That's
ask
a good
him
question.
why mead is so different when it tastes so similar, when its effects are so similar.
We can ask him. It'll just have to be off camera.
All right, well, invite him to
Text
the
him.
pre-show next week.
right
now.
You can sit in, man. Just you won't have a mic, and if you want, you can have a mic.
Yeah,
and I did put it.
I'll
that
speak
way,
for him, but if he needs some coaching, I also hate my voice. So if that's what
Aw.
he's worried about, I'll coach him about if you drink enough beer, you don't care anymore.
Oh, it's actually you might need a refill there.
I definitely need a refill, but you guys got to carry the conversation for
we
about
can
30 seconds.
We can carry the
Well,
conversation because I was going to
This
go
is kind
to.
of related to what you guys are talking about.
Thank you.
Brendan, you work at a brewery, so I don't know how much you know about the process versus working in a distillery.
Wha-
But I did
that's-
the tour at Stranahan's to drop that
that
brand
nice little
name.
brand.
Yeah.
But hey, so when was that? Like before they moved locations? When they
that
had that restaurant that was so good with them, or are you talking after? Because their restaurant
they didn't
was
have
a couple years
restaurant
ago.
when I went. It's
Yeah,
the one in
okay.
Santa Fe, the one they still have now, Stranahan's.
Yep, the restaurant left them.
And the reason we went is because they always have that limited release, but you can actually get it in their bar year round without having to do the whole Black Friday wait for their limited release whiskey. So that's part of why we went, and we had a buddy in town that had never been. But this kind of goes to quality of liquor makes a huge difference too. And they mentioned that in the distilling process, how there's different types of alcohols that they have to like filter out or keep in. The layman's term they used were like highs and lows. I don't know like the chemical makeup actually.
Do your research, Cody.
But it's like the difference
So,
between
what's the-
drinking alcohol and the alcohol used for hand sanitizer.
You
which
can
is-
drink that too.
That's absolute.
You can
I thought we were off that.
You can drink that. You can drink paint thinner. You can drink turpentine.
You can drink NyQuil.
Gets the job done.
But it's whether you go blind or not is the difference,
This podcast
Which is
does not
also-
endorse drinking turpentine.
which is also
No,
the
we
layman's
don't.
term they use. And also, they mentioned that in cheaper brands of alcohol, they filter out the bad stuff less. So that's why you get those bad hangovers when you drink low.
That's
low-
actually
low
true.
Yeah, that's
quality
part of the
liquor.
distilling
I've
process.
done that test, and it's true.
First-hand knowledge.
Yep. Even my vodka shots or the Jello shots, I'll make with better vodka nowadays because of that.
Yeah, we.
It tastes better, and it's just better all around.
Yeah, you don't really want shots that
I'm
taste
kind
like
of a
rubbing
connoisseur
alcohol.
as far as taste, so I always get higher end stuff just
Yeah.
because it tastes better.
Well, Tam's favorite. Well, we
well,
never
cheap
even.
vodka is Shvedka.
Right. Well, that's our quote unquote cheap. Yeah. 'cause
That's
That
the
was our
grocery store
premium in
brand.
Well, that's-
college.
Huh?
I would always pick up a bottle of
it's
raspberry.
distilled four, or is it 4 times?
Five.
It's
Five.
the grocery store brand,
It kind
right?
of is
In a
but
plastic
it's-
bottle.
It doesn't give
No,
me
that's
headaches.
McCormick, man.
But
Oh, I thought that was
is it
Sveta.
Absolute? What vodka is it? Absolute?
Well, Absolute's like the next
I
step
get headaches
up.
from that one though. It's
Absolute's
weirdly.
not a bargain brand. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a pretty
No.
name brand.
But I mean,
Yeah.
It's a
Grey
pretty.
Goose,
It's a
Yeah.
big
I
company.
like a
Grey
lot.
Goose
Yeah,
is
I have
huge.
to do Grey
Goose
Goose
is
or
like
better,
if you're gonna talk like top end vodka, Goose is definitely.
especially
there's not
after
much up there that
ruining
beats
every
that
vodka
Goose.
brand in college. I have to do Grey Goose or better if I'm gonna be drinking
Svedka's
vodka.
not bad, man,
Svedka's
because
more
that's
of like-
really
Vodka's
like.
the one I ruined in college. I would
well,
pick up a
you fucker.
I pick up a handle of raspberry Svedka every Friday.
Oh, you did.
in
Oh, you were a flavor. Oh,
Yeah.
you
I'm more of a
shit.
gin snob than I am vodka.
See, that's where I
You
was
probably
gonna
drank.
get at.
You probably drank vanilla milk as a baby, didn't you?
Uh,
Jesus
exactly
Christ.
right. That's what I was getting
Who
at.
let this guy in
and
the podcast?
Svedka.
Well, we need a flavor bitch, right? Just a flavor
There's
bitch.
no Mr. Jennings here, so I'm a
Yeah.
flavor bitch.
Oh.
Oh,
He would be good because
he-
he's a mustache.
Yeah, but the
Sorry,
only problem
Brian,
is he's one
probably a
and
little bit.
done's. It's hard to have a 4 beers in when
He's
you're
got a
like,
singular
Can
focus.
I say,
Could
and
he be-
Ryan,
he could
I
be-
hope you're listening to this, but I think it's funny. I've never seen a person order a big beer, a small beer, and then take 3 hours to drink it.
And he'll cash out right when he gets them
Right.
too. Yeah,
And
he
I'm
doesn't
just
run
saying,
a tab.
We were
He's-
watching the Rapids game. I'm like, he just
Literally-
ordered both beers.
But here's-
Literally
It took him, I'm like,
Goldilocks.
how-
Goldilocks.
he's not
Yeah.
gonna listen to it, but the girlfriend is.
But here's the thing about Brian. He can afford to retire, and none of us can.
That's true.
So dude's got
He's
Dude's-
like my dad.
I think he's doing it right. I
My
mean,
dad
he
grew up on a farm.
measures
Why
his
do you
drunk.
replace it? It still works. I'm like, yeah, but it's cutting my ass when I sit on it, Dad.
Oh, the toilet seat.
Yeah.
I
So
was
we
gonna
went to visit
guess.
my
I couldn't
parents,
come up with something
and he had
funnier
one of those
faster.
wood
I'm
kind of
sorry.
toilet seats, and guys don't sit on it unless they shit. So my dad would. Poop
I take
upstairs.
issue with that. I have recently switched to a
Apparently,
sitting
so
pee
does
stance.
JoJo.
Right.
Wait,
but
what?
We
You
have
like to
two
sit?
bathrooms at my parents' house.
I
My
do.
dad would go upstairs
Less
to
cleaning
read
involved.
That
the
sounds like a
paper,
very male way of
which
solving
means
the
he's
problem.
taking his time to poop. And then the downstairs was just the basic whatever. And we went to visit, and I'm like, oh my God, there's a little crack. It's pinching
You
my
could
butt when
literally
I
pinch
pee.
like a cheek.
But my dad
The
never
whole
sits
thing
on
was
it because
fucking
he goes
broken.
upstairs to read the paper, quote.
Yeah.
And like
His office.
right.
I'll be in my
and
office.
So Brendan and I went to Home Depot.
Does he
bought
do the
a
full
toilet seat? We purchased it.
They're not cheap. They're
Put it
surprisingly
in.
expensive.
Yeah, a whole $20.
Just
We
the
put it
seat.
on the-
No, just the
My
seat
dad
is $20
comes
bucks.
home. He's like,
Yeah.
"Why'd you do that?" I'm like, "Because I have to sit on it." Like, and there's
The other one was perfectly fine.
yeah. Brian reminds
That's why
me of
I
my
go
dad,
upstairs.
which actually I really appreciate because like, why replace it if it's not broken? But my dad at that.
Well, why replace it if nobody uses it is the
Exactly.
philosophy. And he's
Him.
right there. But,
but I'm
if
like,
you
do you realize, Mom? Was Mom not?
your
complaining?
mom has
What's
access to the
happening?
purse, she can replace it if she
Although
used
there
it.
is
I
a
don't think
master
she
bedroom,
uses
so
it.
She had that toilet.
Yeah, your mom doesn't use it. You should have just told your mom, use that toilet,
Mm-hmm.
then give me $20. I'll go to the hardware store for you.
No, they've
The other
given me
one
so
was
much in
perfectly
life, I don't
fine. We've
mind.
had it for
I don't
30
mind giving a
years.
toilet seat.
I mean, if I had multiple bathrooms in a house, I'd be a tourist. I would just, today I'm going to use the second
Well,
wing.
it's even funny down here. I'm like, go upstairs, but you guys always go to this one. I'm like, ours is
It's
better up
close.
there.
No,
I
it's
know.
close, but no, I switched this year to a sit in peace stance because
sit in
it's
peace.
yes. Now it's not just
Brought
because
to you
I'm
by Squatty Potty.
it's not just because I'm
Can we
42
get a
and it's not
Squatty
just
Potty
because I'm
sponsor? That would
divorced
be
because I always did the cleaning. It's just so much less cleaning.
You always did the cleaning?
Oh yeah. I always did the everything.
Are you
I
kidding
wish
me?
you
Like,
would do more toilet cleaning.
I do other cleaning. I'm sorry that
We're
I
off
don't do
alcohol.
toilet cleaning. Like, yeah,
I was basically
Save
single
your
when I
marriage
was
with
not
a
single.
Squatty Potty. That's
No,
what we're saying.
That's not Squatty Potty isn't
Sometimes I'm
cleaning.
Like, what
It's
the
the
hell? Like,
Hey, if they don't pay us, they don't get our name on the podcast.
exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna
right?
edit this out.
The beep potty.
Unless
I can't edit the video. But Squatty Potty doesn't make everything clean. It's more
But
like
also, when
Clorox.
you do
But
your social posts, you should tag Squatty Potty.
I
Squatty
should.
Potty could help aim.
well, a little bit.
Help keep you regular.
Well,
Squatty
not
Potty.
regular,
That's-
but, like,
that's really
if you're
what the
bending
commercial's
over,
about.
You might be shooting back. Where Squatty Potty keeps your legs up and you go where it should go. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
But again, I lived in Thailand for a while, and they do have squatter toilets there, and the health benefits speak for themselves. I mean, that's the position
Well,
you're
it's so
supposed
funny.
to be in
Oh my
as an
God, This is a
animal.
whole nother topic. Shit is awesome.
Yeah.
Were we talking about
Right.
podcasts that
Well,
do
because you
live
go to
reads for way
Yellowstone
too long?
and like very, very
Oh,
populated where
man.
and then it
tourist
turns
areas.
into a 5-minute live read for Squatty Potty.
And we should get money for Squatty
Yeah.
Potty.
Hit fast forward 20 times, you'll be through this bit.
We're still talking Squatty Potty. In
Well,
fact,
no, when you go
every
to-
10 minutes, I'm just going to mention Squatty Potty just to see how like people
I've
are
never
fast forward.
traveled
No.
other than
I'm
Canada.
kidding.
I have not been out of the country other than Canada.
Canada.
But when you go to like Yellowstone, high popular tourist areas, like they'll actually have signs saying "Don't stand on it," like sit.
It's just sad. You have to teach people
So
how
like
to squat.
I know there's other
No,
countries where there's
they're telling 'em
holes
not
and,
to
like,
stand
in
on the
streets.
toilet.
Yeah, I know.
And that's
you
how
have to
they
teach them
have
to
to
squat
teach,
over
'cause,
the,
like,
the pan.
When I was young, I didn't get it, and now I'm like, oh my god, they're telling you don't
The
Don't
thing about
hover.
the thing about squatters is
squatters.
it's more healthy because your intestines are actually straight in a line
That's
as you
what a
eliminate.
squatty potty is.
Yeah, well, barely, because all it does is lift your feet a little bit. But you should be in a squatting position over a pan.
You should be hanging on a tree.
No, you should be in a squatting position over a pan like every other country does. And you spend less of your life shitting.
If you have bad balance,
because
though, you need handlebars, something.
no, you
And a
don't-
tree's going to give you that?
First of all,
Hey,
old
there's
people.
canes. We could make little things, or you like.
Shitty canes?
This
shitty
is a
canes.
problem that would resolve itself because old people in other countries are not as infirmed as they are here. They're capable of squatting and they're capable of riding motorcycles because they actually live a healthy lifestyle. We are the most diseased fucking country because
Yeah, because we're home at McDonald's.
yeah, and as a result, when we're old, we're just fucking carcasses walking around, you know?
Like
Alcohol
crickets.
related, McDonald's in other countries has beer.
God damn it,
I
America.
learned that from study abroad too.
That's all I need to know to vote for
Ronald
Biden.
McDonald went and sold beer.
McDonald's.
That's a
just-
fucking clown
Mc-
I
Mc-
can get behind.
Yeah, McDonald's just hits different when you can wash it down with a nice German
Also, they
beer.
actually use things called
Okay,
spices
so
in
German
other
beer.
countries.
Wait, I would.
Related. Okay, McDonald's in Germany is
Oh.
the best McDonald's because they have beer and they have the McRib year round.
And the
Makes
Royale.
It's not this limited edition bullshit.
And a Royale with cheese.
yeah.
Because they know that our fucking attention span is 0. That's why.
Is it really?
We're so
McRib?
stupid.
McRib.
Rib.
Oh,
Rim.
thought you
I
were
see
saying
where your
rim.
head
You're like,
is.
what's
Thinking of
the
some-
rim?
something
That's
She's
awful.
she's on the rim job.
Excuse me, I believe I applied for the rim job.
I don't eat at McDonald's much.
I heard
don't
you
know
guys
the
have
McRib.
McRib here.
Right?
Chipotle's my fast food, so I
Nice.
don't know the McRib rim.
Rib. It's not worth eating.
Oh, okay.
I've never had it because I don't eat pork.
So
but
going
the
back
Impossible
30
Whopper,
minutes
yum.
ago to first bits of alcohol, that's what my father had was Warsteiner
McRib?
or Vorsteiner or whatever. No, it was German beer.
Your
it was
parents
like
lived in German.
can
for a
pickle the
while.
that's
McRib?
just it. So
His parents actually lived in German.
Oh, were they military?
no,
Germany.
so my dad actually got a contract to teach English in Germany. And it was right after he got his teaching degree and whatnot. So they went over and
So
he
pre-kids.
Yeah,
like when they were
pre-kids.
living their life.
you're right
Nice.
when they were freaking
And
smart.
when they were happy.
Yeah.
I
He was in
mean,
his-
Back when your
20s.
parents smiled.
Yeah, exactly. Nailed
I've
it.
met your parents. I haven't seen them smile yet.
Yeah, me either.
Well, I've only met them with you in the room.
that probably doesn't help the
was the
situation.
problem child.
I was,
We learned on the last podcast.
and that was just a fraction
yeah,
of my story.
just from the age of 14 to 19. you
wait,
were a
I'll
fucking
I'll
hellion.
get to a couple of
The truck
alcohol
stealing?
stories. Yes, exactly.
Oh,
the truck
God.
stealing, the car stealing, and yeah, I stole a lot of shit. Literally. Anyway,
$20,000.
yeah, just about. Although no, officially it was only like 15.
I
You know
agree
the
with
limit-
Matt. I've never seen that amount of money in my life.
Do you know the limit between larceny and grand larceny is $10,000? You committed grand larceny because $10,000, $999 is just larceny. But if you cross 10,000, that's grand larceny.
Holy
that's a whole other
shit.
crime. Your dad could have fucking put you away.
Oh, he could have. And I know at one point he said the bank wanted to press charges, but I told him no.
Oh, yeah. You
He's
owe your
like,
dad
oh.
your basically your freedom, your house, that chair you're sitting in, your everything.
I'm just kidding. Is that joint?
Anyway. Thanks, Dad.
I'm just saying, my grandparents did not make the same choice with my dad. They let him.
Aw.
They famously let him go to jail for a whole weekend once before they would answer his phone call.
Really?
Oh
Well,
yeah,
and that was the thing. There were things that my
Yeah.
parents threatened that, like, if we had done this, that, or whatever, like a DUI or whatnot, that they would let us sit. Now, granted, my brother has gotten 2.
Ooh.
Whether or
Does he know
not
about the 3 strike law?
yeah,
He's pushing it up. He's got a bunch.
but
next
whether
time.
or not they let him sit in jail or not, I don't know.
My
But
grandparents did. My dad, I believe, was a DUI, and it happened on a Friday. And they're like, "See you Monday," and they let him spend an entire weekend in jail.
I do
And
know that my
that's just how
crazy
they
brother
were?
has spent multiple 72-hour holds
Mm.
for certain situations. But
I don't promote drinking and driving, but I feel
Yeah.
like have
It's
we all
gonna
pushed it?
happen.
oh, we've all pushed
It's
it.
gonna.
I
It
mean,
happens. You know, it's not right, and you shouldn't do it.
No, definitely.
And here we are as a beer podcast, and we're like, hey.
Well, we've even
but
been where we've left a car or we've had to be like, I
But
can't.
we watch
drive.
each other's back.
These days
That's
with
all.
Lyft and Uber, there's no reason to
Exactly.
drink and drive.
Which
Exactly.
sucks with
Especially when
COVID though, because now I'm afraid of that.
Worst case scenario, I sleep here on the couch.
Right.
you don't have a
camper,
couch.
too.
We've got an RV that
There you
is
go.
actually heated right
and
now.
we're pushers
so
because we like it. We're like, I
in
can
fact,
make you
yeah,
breakfast.
there's a bedroom downstairs in the basement, and there's an RV, so it's not
You
like
can
either
sleep
one of
with
you
the
had
cat.
to drive.
Oh.
But
No one makes me
back to the
breakfast.
beginning of what I was talking about was that my parents, while they were in Germany, my dad blames his gut. And if you know my dad, I'm probably starting to slowly turn into that. But he blames it on being in Germany and that he was,
It's a German gut.
well, that was where he says he was introduced to beer.
Oh, it's a beer gut.
And that's exactly what he calls it. He calls it a beer gut. And over the years, so my dad, the Warsteiner or whatever it is, it's a fucking German Pilsner. It's really light. It's like the German version of Bud Light or Budweiser.
Yeah, Coors started as a German beer too.
Yeah,
as a
it did?
Pilsner. Oh, Adolf Coors was German. Yes,
Yeah.
he made a German beer.
They
And it's
I didn't
it's
know that.
garbage now.
they Americanized it,
garbage.
and they kind of did turn it into garbage, because when you taste our Pilsner at Frolic compared to a Coors, oh come on, if you have the opportunity, you'll never buy a Coors again.
Well, it's pretty bad when I'm like, oh, a PBR, that's awesome. And then, of course, I'm like, you drink that shit?
That's true. All right. Well, either way, PBR Coors, they're all literally Pilsners. Like that's
PBR
kind of like
is the high class of shit. To me.
No, it's not.
No?
no,
What's the high class of shit?
There is no high class of shit.
exactly.
It's all shit.
Killian?
Really?
Natty,
Well,
anything,
Killian's is
PBR
Coors, though.
is
Okay,
class.
so
Killian's
Natty
Coors?
is basically like the bad beer that doesn't get
That's another college throwback
Wait,
for
which
me.
one?
Is anyone
Natty
who
Light.
brought
Yeah.
a 24
Or Natty
pack of
Ice.
Natty
Natty
to a
Light's
party is like
disgusting. You
Miller
you're
can't
just a
Natural
cheap
Light.
asshole. You couldn't afford Coors or
Right.
PBR. You're just an asshole.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Yingling
You're gonna
is
go
better than
spend
Coors.
$10 on a 12 pack.
Miller Natural Light is what my high school girlfriend's mom would give us, so we wouldn't get drunk.
And they would always want credit.
But that's
for
literally a
bringing
Pilsner,
the,
because
case of
the
Natty.
alcohol content, I mean, it's kind of like beer flavored water versus
Same
beer
coming
flavored
out as it
beer.
is going in.
Well,
Right.
they promote
It's-
that. It's Colorado water.
And that, yeah, it's Colorado water briefly
Was Kilsner?
taste Pilsner.
No. Killian.
Killian's.
Killian's.
Is that Coors?
That's an Irish
No,
red.
no, that's an Irish red.
That's
That's,
a
a whole
red, and
different.
red is
yeah.
good.
Actually
we
good.
like red.
Yes.
I like
yes.
that one. I thought
If I can see you, it's bad. I mean,
Oh well,
through the beer.
I don't know. See, but the thing is we still want our beers clear. Like I'm holding this
This
up to
is-
the camera. You can see my fingers through the beer.
I
But this is a
cannot
pale
see-
ale.
I cannot see Tammy at all, but this is a gorgeous beer.
But when you hold your fingers up to it, you still want to be able to see your fingers through
I
the
can
beer.
see my fingers, but I can't
Like-
see across the room.
There you go. That's
Nothing.
that's the way
it's
to
the
be.
glass.
It's just kind of lights. It's a
or
kaleidoscope.
Christmas lights, I'm sure.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's the
kaleidoscope from
lighting.
across the room.
Yeah.
But it's
Watch this on YouTube. But that was the first beer and introduction to alcohol I had. And it was, my parents had that, and we mentioned this in one of the last few episodes. My parents had a lock chest, a hope chest or whatever. And that's where they would lock up the alcohol, the goodies, the granola bars, all the candy, whatever, the shit that they wanted that we weren't supposed to have. Either way, I
they
figured out
called
how to
it
get
their
into
last
it.
resort from Brendan the Bastard.
Yeah, they called me Danny, but yes,
They
it
still
was
call you
Danny
they
the
still-
douchebag.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, they had plenty of names for you.
They
I'm the
probably
only one
still
that doesn't
do.
call him Danny out of the closeness.
But the alcohol that I cannot like tolerate at all, even the smell of, is Jose Cuervo.
To kill ya.
Wait,
Yeah.
that's not true.
Yes, it is.
But
When
also,
it comes to the smell
Fight.
of alcohol,
Fight.
I can
Fight.
smell Cuervo like halfway across the
What did
room.
we drink in Hawaii?
That was Patron and it was tequila. But what we did in Hawaii and that whole we'll talk
We
about
had a
that story.
bad
We had a bad
experience.
night and it was 2 days before our wedding.
We almost didn't get married over this.
It
night.
was
Oh, really?
rough.
That bad?
Yeah.
Was it a fighting bad? Or
It was a
like-
fighting. Well, it was tequila bad, and since we're talking about
We
it,
both deal with tequila differently. So when I
Tequila
drink
makes you
tequila,
aggro.
it makes
That's
me
funny.
emotional.
it made
I'll
me.
cry
It made
and
me
be
aggro.
sad.
Oh
I
my
got
God.
aggro.
And he gets angry.
I did, whether or not I
So
gets,
I was like, I want to
it's-
go to bed. And I cried and I went to bed. And then he came in,
all right. Since
got lost.
I was
and
going to
then-
talk about the Cuervo story first, but
as
apparently,
far as tequilas go, Cuervo is pretty bad.
well, what had
I don't
happened?
know the difference of quality of tequila.
Oh, it's bad. But what had happened was I was about 15 and my parents went away for, it was either a Christmas party or a New Year's Eve party. And this was one of the first times that they let me be the babysitter.
And the last time, I assume.
I don't know. My dad he brought home girls from high school.
Wait a
And
minute.
when I was this age,
Your
he
That's
stopped.
not bad.
Well, he stopped.
Babysitters, not he brought girls home.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that sounded bad.
That did.
I did.
that
He's
I
like,
know
sounded-
your
"You
dad,
bring
and I don't
girls
believe
home?"
that.
Okay,
Give him
yeah,
Jose
no.
Cuervo.
All right.
Yeah,
Not
Ben.
Drunk.
oh shit, man. I don't. Yeah, exactly. My dad's like past teacher's license gone. Shit.
Your dad is a good
Anyway,
guy.
no, he would. There were girls that he
I hear
knew.
he's still a virgin.
Yeah. Yeah. Our babysitters were
Nothing to
girls
say
from
to
the high
that.
school he worked at. So it changed when
You're
I
not
started.
making the story any better.
Anyway, he stopped bringing.
Anyway.
Our babysitters stopped being high school girls when I became
They
a high
became
school
women
freshman.
Once they met your dad.
Now they're high school women.
Just keep digging that hole, Brendan.
This
I'm
Keep
not trying
digging
to
that
help.
hole.
Like your dad's a good guy, but the way you said it, he'd bring girls home.
Yeah.
Ruined it. You
Your
did
dad,
it.
your dad has yet another
My
lawsuit.
dad was a derelict. Let me tell you that.
Your dad has yet another
He
defamation
brought them
lawsuit
home as
against
girls,
you.
but they left as women.
I sure am glad my parents don't listen to my podcast.
Yeah, because they probably would sue you for.
Defamation.
I just spilled beer all over me.
He's like,
Oh
I'm
my
taking you
God.
off the Verizon plan, asshole.
Oh shit! Right. Well, you wanted to switch to Xfinity anyway.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Blame it on the
Okay.
wife.
Anywho, the days of babysitters had ended, and I got into that hope chest, and I decided that that bottle of Cuervo Gold was going to be my alcohol for the night, and I poured it over the rocks. And my
Ew.
brothers and I watched 2 movies, and I got on the phone with some girl in Denver.
Hey, I know that place.
I can't remember how I met her. I don't know if this was an
You
internet
probably
thing
gave
or
her
not.
a ride somewhere and she
No.
teased you
It
along
might
the
have
way.
it might have been an internet thing, or it might have been camping. I was really good at like finding girls when I went camping. But anyway, I just remember being on the phone, and at one point, it hit me, and I covered the phone, or I thought I covered the phone, and I look at my brother, and I'm like, I am fucked up, and Brett, like if you know my other brother. I have 2. Never mind. It doesn't matter. But he just looked at me and was like, "No fucking shit." You're
covering-
tossed.
Yeah, you're covering.
And
my
I'm
hearing
trying to
part of
like
the phone.
cover the. Yeah, exactly. I was
Yeah.
not. I'm sure that girl totally heard me go, "I'm fucked up." But I had at least a half a bottle of Cuervo on the rocks.
Yeah.
I was done after
And-
he said Cuervo on the rocks.
I know.
And
It's like,
I cannot have
Pack it up for the
like
night.
I can smell the difference between Cuervo and any other tequila.
I don't know what kind of tequila I had.
See,
but
I
I had a
have no
tequila
idea.
night. And it's weirdly like this bittersweet thing because it was the most sick I've been, except for the tick bite night with the bananas. But it was also with the absolute be all end all love of my life in college. And we got fucked up on tequila. It was the first time we told each other we loved each other.
Aw.
And then we ended up helping each other puke all
Well, there's
pretty
your
much all day
testing.
long. And it is one of the most special memories of my life. And yet I can't have tequila to this day. I've had maybe 1 margarita in 20 years, but even that was touch and go. I can't smell straight up
That's the
tequila.
thing,
You can
too.
get a margarita.
Wow,
Just order it
dude.
with
So
rum.
you have a bittersweet memory with
Yes,
tequila.
because I absolutely,
It's like my
Like, because
peach
this
schnapps.
girl, you're not going to forget this girl.
I will never
Tequila
It's a good and
outside
bad
of that
memory.
entire memory.
This girl was like I said, the love of my life, the be all end all, the one and only. And yet that night was so painfully miserable. And yet we were together through it all. Like we got each other through it. I remember like laying together on the bathroom floor. Which one of us needs to get up to puke? And the other one would get up and I would hold her hair or she would pat my back or something. But we ended up moving to the outdoors eventually because I think maybe the toilet got full. There's a flusher. You forget about that flusher at some point.
But it automatically goes based on weight.
But that night is in my brain forever. And that her too. But yeah, that I have a very
No,
bittersweet.
that night's in your brain, she's in your heart.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So our wedding or pre-wedding story, since we're talking about girls and tequila, I guess this was. I mean, it wasn't like. I mean, Tam's my heart. There's my be all and all. Anyway, this situation maybe actually kind of it doesn't define us, but it definitely shows that we're resilient. But when we got married in Hawaii, we decided that because my parents were sharing the condo, and my mom was like, "You guys are sleeping in the living room," and she
All right,
gave the
so
two
here
bedrooms
we're
to.
getting married. We already lived together. Let's just give a little
Okay, yeah, all right.
visit here.
Sinners.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
You can stay with us, but you can't have sex when you're living or staying at the resort with us. I'm like, how can we get? And
Did
it's
you?
our,
Did you? I hope you fired back to Brendan's parents. Yeah, same rules to you. No one wants to hear that.
Although they actually had a bedroom, we had the couch pull out. But
Unfortunately,
if you
I'm
want to
sorry
hear
to
that
say I
story,
could not
that's a
keep
whole
that
other
agreement.
story. But they were like, you can't, you're staying here, you can't, whatever. And you're like, I'm like, what? You can't, like. That's a little difficult.
So what we
like,
had
run the
decided
pull
to
out.
do
Third base
was
only.
show up a few days earlier, and we got ourselves
So we'll get.
we got a hale or a hut at this
And I
all-inclusive
loved
resort.
it because you're not allowed. So you had a hut. There was no lock on your door. You had to trust everyone that was around you. So that
You had a safe where you could put like your
that's
Special
true, your wallet,
belongings.
whatever. But I liked it because there was no internet, and I hate Facebook and social.
The only
media.
TV
Although
was the
I'm on
one at the
Facebook
bar.
at times, and obviously I am. But I love I hate when we go to restaurants or whatever, and no offense, Brendan, you're like scrolling and stuff. I'm like, well, I guess I watch TV because you're like scrolling through shit. So I love when we go camping or anything and you don't get internet. Love it, love it, love
I do
it.
too. I
So
really
when we
do.
went there, you're not allowed. So if you were if you were in your hut, you totally could do your Wi-Fi computer, and you had your little safe. You can hide your shit. But if we were out like where you're drinking or at the pool, anywhere out in the main
You'd
area,
get shamed
you
if
weren't
you pulled
allowed
that
to
shit
have
out.
your phone. They wouldn't let you have the internet, and I loved it because I was like, you had to be with each other. You didn't have to just to kind of picture that.
She spent like 2 minutes on that whole bit. That's how much she loved
because
it.
that's why I love that place. Like I love that it was like, no, fuck social media.
But-
you have to deal with each other.
The other part was it was inclusive.
WTF, Brendan?
So there was
We met
multiple
someone
bars.
that was drinking tequila, and he was like, "Here, I'm going through a shitty."
You could smell
She's
it
gonna
from the
jump
other
the story
campsite.
completely.
I'm sorry.
Married couples. That should be another one.
I know. Well, he was in a shitty relationship.
Yeah, no, we did. So there were multiple bars throughout the resort, and when it's all inclusive, you can just. So we followed the sunset, and there was this. Anyway, 2 bars in, we meet a guy who realizes we're kind of like quote unquote newlyweds, and he wants
Which
to.
means you're on your way to being married.
Yes.
Pre-newlywed.
Because we mentioned that we're getting married in a couple days. Now, our own mistake is that we actually ended up arriving on the day we were supposed to get married, because when we booked it, we thought 5/5/10, and then we got there and thought in our heads for 5 months, 6 months, it was 5/10/10. Or
So
no, wait,
instead of
it
May
was 10
5th
anyway. Instead of
Instead
May 5th. It was October, and then we moved it all the way back, and so we got married.
I'm confused.
Yeah, it
what is
doesn't
your
matter.
anniversary?
It doesn't matter,
We
but
had the
anyway,
date wrong when we got there, but
it
we
was supposed to be
situated it.
5/5/10, so it was supposed to be May 5th,
2010.
2010. We got there and we had booked it
We're
for
on the
May
5th.
10th,
Oh,
2010.
So for 5 days.
So
you
it
had
was
nowhere to
5/10/10. So we had to call the agency and change it completely, which they were cool with. Then we had to go to the district attorney's office or whatever. We had to get our marriage certificate there in Hawaii. And the lucky thing is the guy who was marrying us had a flight out to a different island the same day, like 2 hours after our wedding. So he decided to stay and actually do it. But so everything worked out. We had to move it back a few days because our parents, we got in the day we were supposed to technically get married. Our parents didn't get in for another 2 days. So we
So
had to like push it
When
back.
did they think you were getting married?
They thought we were
On the
getting married
5th,
on the
but we got
10th.
married
No,
on
no,
the
no, no.
10th.
They thought we were getting married on the
So they
10th.
came in 2 days later On purpose?
Yeah, my parents and her parents came in on like the 7th or 8th. We got there on the 5th.
Thinking
and
you were already married.
Well, no.
No, we booked our marriage.
We told
It doesn't
everyone
matter.
we were getting married on the 10th, but we booked it for the 5th and realized on the way there we booked it for the 5th.
We'll have to go
Oops.
back and listen, but I think that's the exact opposite of what you've been saying this whole time.
Yeah.
But
My bad.
go ahead.
Anyway,
It doesn't matter. Talk about
we bought
the-
ourselves some extra time. Guy finds out that we're getting married, wants to buy us shots, but insists that it has to be tequila because that's what he's
he's
drinking.
Fuck that guy.
Why did you
Exactly.
explain to him your
But
didn't matter.
it did. I actually did. I said as long as it's not Cuervo. He goes, no, we're drinking Patron.
But then I got really drunk and I was like, I need to go lay down. I'm sorry. So I went back to my little hut and then I get emotional. And then you
Aw.
kept drinking with him.
So
and then
yes,
got
that's
angry.
exact. She hit her limit and found her way back to the Halle. I stayed there for another 2 more shots. I think 2.
And all the huts look the same, so he got lost.
And
God.
Then I
And
realized
there's no locks, so you're
Tam's
walking in on people.
Tam's
if you're
not
gonna
coming
walk
back,
in.
and so I'm trying to find our way or my way back to the Halle. And I
This
actually
was not in the days of smartphones either. So.
no, well, it was pre-smartphones.
Well,
were
he
just
didn't have
right
his
there.
on him because
But
you're
no,
not allowed to have them
exactly.
in that
My
area.
phone wasn't on me. It was back at the Halle. So I actually walk into somebody else's hut, and there's this couple sitting there, and I'm like, "Hey, not my place."
I was
And I
thinking it was
turn
like,
back around.
I was thinking it was like vacation.
And I was in bed. Like, I had no idea.
I thought it'd be like European vacation where Chevy Chase got in bed with
That's
the
not
wrong
pillows.
woman.
Yes, exactly.
If you could just unlock your thighs, I could slip right out of here.
If only,
Those
right?
aren't pillows.
I definitely, and that was probably one of the most embarrassing things that I could remember, even
he got
still
angry
now.
and angrier because he couldn't find
I
me.
couldn't- and I
by
kept
the time
looking.
he got to me, he was so angry.
I
but I
tripped
was in
over a-
bed, so I
yeah.
had no idea he was going through this.
I tripped over a tree trunk. My toe was bleeding. Like I was
So he
just.
came in
I was
so
in a
mad.
bad mind state, pissed the fuck off, and I finally got to the our hut, and I don't
I'm
even
ready to
know.
Ralph Cramden this
Yeah,
shit on my
exactly.
wife.
And I
don't
had
even
no
know what
idea.
the
I'm like,
fuck- I truly don't even know what I said or how it even
Oh,
began.
wasn't
Tim, what did he
good.
say?
But I created a shitstorm.
It got to the point where whatever he came in, and he was so mad that I was like, "Are we even getting married?" I don't know. And I was like, I don't even know what happened.
I don't know. I met this couple and there was a spark and he was kind of cute. And she was a little standoffish, but I think I can win her over.
I think she's with us.
I just need to learn Japanese.
I don't
Hawaii
even remember
after
what they
all.
look like at this point, but it was.
You saying all Japanese people look alike?
Oh, I can't even think of a rebuttal for
Fucking
that one.
racist. God damn it. How do I get associated with you people? I'm the most liberal person in the world.
The only thing
Say
I
that with small
remember of
hands.
that, I love that we couldn't have internet other than our fight, because after that, the next day
No, once we realized it was the
next day was
tequila,
fine,
and we
he had
swore
a-
off
right, right,
tequila.
right.
Yeah.
But I remember Geicos or whatever, lizards
Geckos.
falling.
Geckos.
Geicos.
Geicos.
Yeah, from Gecko Insurance, right? The mascot to Gecko Insurance.
Yes.
Stupid fact, it stands for Government Employee Insurance Company.
Is it really?
Geico. Yes, it used to be exclusively for government employees.
We have another person we need to tag on our social posts.
Fuck.
Gecko?
I don't get
All
Geico.
these sponsors rolling in with their checks.
Oh, and everyone knows Geico can afford to pay a podcast to sponsor them.
Yeah, some lowly little. Yeah. Hey, we hit over 100 listens.
I would love to go back though.
To Hawaii? Have
Oh,
you not
yeah.
been?
Hawaii for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, to go back in time?
Oh, well, that too.
What are you talking
I
about?
would go back anywhere.
You
fuck
said
are you
go
talking
back.
about?
Sure, I'll
Tammy,
go back
wait,
anywhere.
But you
Tammy,
said go
the
back.
fuck are you
so-
talking about over there?
Hawaii.
Okay. Hawaii.
You've been back in 10 years. I've known you since you've been back, right?
No,
No?
we haven't
we
been
were
back
supposed to
since
go
we.
back
You must just talk about it
until
sometimes.
COVID.
Well, we were
hit.
supposed to go back
got-
this
our
year.
Trip got
Okay.
canceled because of all
COVID.
that.
We were
Oh.
gonna be back in May for my parents' 50th and our 10-year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be nice. A 10 and a 50.
Right. The dogs decided to chase a cat.
That's,
Hey!
Hey!
I'll edit that bit out, I think. Anywho,
You know what? You know what alcohol gave to me?
I was just going to say, anyone else?
The
Bad
great-
alcohol, can't drink
I know,
anymore?
peach to me.
Is that
I
where
can't
this
do
is
anything.
going?
Well,
peach.
you did peach. I did tequila.
The greatest gift alcohol ever gave to me was I saw my first in-person live lesbian kiss.
What?
Because of
Oh.
alcohol.
Oh. At what age? At
yes.
what age?
Yes.
25-ish.
Okay.
I mean, I went to a bar kind of by myself because I was kind of depressed, and I went outside to have a smoke, and
You smoked?
I did. I
I
don't.
don't see you as a smoker.
Kudos,
Sorry,
man.
Sidetracked.
no,
It's a really
kudos.
stupid
That-
thing
I
I
just
did.
yeah, tobacco's a bitch.
It's a really stupid thing I did, but I was never addicted. I just kind of did it as a kind of a
Social.
self-destructive.
Oh.
Self-destructive. We can get into my mental issues another time, but it was
Could be
purely.
a whole another podcast.
I will own that
What
podcast.
made me smoke?
I've been very open about my
It'll just be a rap battle between me
depressiveness
and Matt.
lately. Yeah, bring it on. Yeah, so I went out to have a smoke, and two girls are. Well, there was a bunch of us smoking outside, and two girls are like, "Yeah, I'll make out with you, whatever." And they just started making out, and we like circled around them. And
Two
like, holy
girls?
shit! Oh yeah. That's what lesbian means. Two girls. Yeah. Did you think I met my first
No.
two guys kissing event? Because
Hey.
no,
Hey,
the first time I ever saw
nowadays you don't know gender.
the first time I ever saw two
But he
women
said
making out in
lesbian.
real life.
Yes,
but
yes.
there's
That is a
some
gift.
guys that feel, or some people that are born males that
But
feel
that's
they're
not what he's talking
females.
about.
Oh,
You're
no.
taking
I'm
away
just
from the story.
saying, in my
They were-
defense,
I
They were
want to
both-
hear Matt's story.
They were both
Okay.
very attractive women, and they started making out, and we enjoyed it thoroughly. And that's the greatest gift alcohol has given me.
that's the greatest.
Marco?
Good for you, Matt. I had that ruin my most recent birthday because the girl that I was supposed to be hooked up with ended up doing that with this other guy's wife. And we were both like
Oh.
the odd man out. We're like, what are we going to do
Man.
now? I guess we're just going to go drink.
Wait.
I've never
Questions
even
I've had both
Marco.
moments happen to me.
I've never
But
been
isn't
close
it,
to a
is it
three-way.
something that you would like to watch?
It was fun to watch, but it was also kind of like
It wasn't your
weird,
wife.
like shaming.
Think about the other guy. Like, yeah, I got to know what the other guy's going through. But no, I've never even been.
It was a weird version of cuckolding.
I've
put
never.
it that
I've never
way.
even been menage adjacent. It's never come to that. It's like, it's never been in the universe of
But
my
I
life.
was also
So
kind
if
of
you were
cheerleading
with
my
someone,
buddy.
would you like to see that
Yeah.
person kiss another girl?
If I didn't have feelings for her, yes. I would
So-
also do a menage a trois if I didn't have feelings for either of them. But I can't bring love into
Because
the
a woman
equation.
can also leave you for
I'm a
another
very
woman.
romantic person.
That's
Tam
not
has
how I
said
am,
that too.
I'm like that too.
Yeah, and the only person that's ever offered to me, well, hypothetically, has been somebody I love very deeply. So obviously the answer was, well, in practice, no, but let's fantasize for a minute. And that's always been that was always kind of our narrative.
But
It's like,
wait,
we can kind of turn each other on with it, but we know, no, we could never go through with it
Right.
because we couldn't share each other.
Yep.
And that's the whole love of the life thing.
Yep.
That's the same person. But no, I've never even been close to a menage a trois. Alcohol has not helped me there at all.
it did me.
You worked in a strip club, though. I mean,
That's
that's just like
exactly
a
where it
Tuesday
came from,
afternoon
but
for those
yeah.
people.
Sure. Tuesday.
Sure.
It might have been a Tuesday. I'm
I'm
not sure
just
what day
saying.
it was.
I'm just saying, they've committed to a lifestyle that doesn't have the same gravity as it does for people like, I guess
don't-
normal people.
But see, I don't see it as a way if they committed to the lifestyle.
Aren't most strippers bisexual? Because I've talked to
Yes.
strippers, and most of the women I've talked to, because I get bored at strip clubs and I end up having conversations. My friend would tell me it's because they see you as safe, and that's important to a stripper. They'll just come back after their dance and like talk with me. And almost every one of them showed me her paintings. She went to her car and she got paintings out of her trunk and she showed them to me.
So you
That's
know what
how
that
Shoot,
means,
like
though,
one of my
dude.
friends
That's how
girls.
safe I am in a strip club,
But
ladies.
honestly,
But all of them
If you
have admitted to me that they're bisexual. Every single one.
I've only been to a few. I've been focused on Well, I shouldn't say I have, but typically, it depends on if I'm with a guy or other girls. But if I'm with a guy, they focus on, and that makes sense.
Every time. Yeah, I
But
went with
we
my ex to a
also-
strip club, and they
But
always.
it made me the very first time. Honestly,
Brendan knows that's an
I was
easy
young,
target.
and I
if you're
didn't
a
know that.
stripper.
That's
'cause
what I was
came out,
just-
like I'm a country girl, so I
Mm-hmm.
didn't realize that. And then when I moved out to Colorado, and then there was that bus stop in Boulder, which
Oh
is
God!
I'm just
Don't
saying-
compare
but
shit to the
I'm
fucking bus stop.
I'm not saying they're good girls. I know there's classified
It was
as
a
high
club
class,
called the
and then
Bus
Denver
Stop?
has better
Yeah.
class. I
Do-
get
Do you
that.
not know the bus
I
stop?
don't know the bus stop.
Oh,
You
it's-
know the
I
bus
think
stop. I'm
they're
saying,
closed
Marco,
now.
do you not know where
I don't know
bus-
the bus stop either.
There's a place in Boulder
Oh.
that's lower class young ladies and higher class in Boulder or in Denver.
Let's put it this way: the bus stop was like a middle class like strip club for Colorado, but it would have been considered a massage parlor that would have been shut down in
Probably.
Tampa.
But here's a
Like,
girl
I
that
mean,
came
it-
from a small
so
town.
Robert Kraft went there how often?
It was bad, man.
But I didn't understand that. And then girls were hitting on me. And I was like, oh my God, they're hitting
Yeah.
on me. And then someone had to explain it to me. I was like, because I was like 19. Oh, actually, I was early 20s. I didn't know that they would do that. Like, focus on the girls, the safety.
It's
and like,
safe. They're
right,
not.
right, right.
You're not going to rape them.
Right.
But I never.
But I didn't know that because I was like, oh my God.
You
But
don't
it-
know
They think
you're
I'm
not going to
gay?
rape
I
them.
have no idea.
But in all the times that I was considered safe for a stripper, I never took it as an insult at all.
No, see,
I'm
you
like,
were
I'm
one
glad.
step away from being the boyfriend if you could tolerate the fact that she was showing her boobies
I
to
could
random
not,
guys.
by the way. But I was always like,
Because
I
those
always
were the
really
type of
enjoyed the
guys that they would
conversations
have.
that I would
right,
eventually
but
get to.
you would have been the type of guys that would have changed them from
No.
being a stripper.
maybe
possibly.
But they're all well.
But
maybe.
but
maybe.
then you would have to also know that you're getting a girl from this.
I really appreciated that they considered me a safe
Situation.
person because I am a safe person. I've never been aggressive toward women, ever. And I appreciate that they accepted that. And I really did enjoy the conversations. But again, every single one of them admitted to me that they were bisexual. Some had boyfriends, some did not. But they all said they also liked women.
Well, I can't get into.
I
with-
think everyone's bisexual.
Well, sexuality is a spectrum.
I feel like it's more likely with women, but
I think men
will
don't
not agree
wanna
that everyone's.
Focus
well,
on it.
I've had obviously
There's a spectrum.
There is
but
a
I
spectrum.
feel like
the
right.
spectrum.
There is a spectrum.
There's
And I feel like, and Matt's
Absolutely.
part of it. Not saying that
No,
you would
I am.
ever appreciate like
I'm-
that.
We're
I'm on
all
a
part of
spectrum.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Everybody
you
is.
understand it. That doesn't mean you're going to act on like I want to make it with a guy, but you understand the
I do too.
right.
So like
but then
I
there's
will.
the guys that are like no.
But there's
That's-
also the
But
guys
those
like
are the
Mike
most.
Pence.
Those are
who
the biggest
yeah.
liars of all of them.
Right. Yes.
they won't
And
even
we
actually
all
wanna
know
suck
it.
Pence.
We can call them out. Right.
Because
Mike
they,
Pence.
Yeah, because they can't even admit their animal instincts,
Mm-hmm.
which we all are. Unfortunately, animals fix it. But I was just having this conversation a few days ago with a friend about Jack Kerouac in the 50s coming to Denver,
You go
and
by the zoo animals.
it was like, she was like, "Are you?" Well, she asked me like, because I've said the sexuality is on a spectrum. I've never been with a guy in any kind of way, but I'm like, hey, Jack Kerouac, he was a handsome guy and very charismatic. And in the 50s, if I was drinking, talking to Jack Kerouac, I don't know what I would do. There's a good chance that that'd be the guy I'd go for, you know, and that's fine, you know.
Well, and you're opening
even-
up to
even-
what could be real. Like for me,
I'm just saying it's not out of the question. I mean, I don't know what I
I
would
think
do
there's
in
definitely
that
a
situation.
spectrum.
what I
Because I
know I
might
would
kiss a
do
girl,
and what
but I
I
don't know
wouldn't
if I'm
do.
gonna-
I don't want a dick in my mouth. That's about as far as I know. Like, hey, I'm
want a dick
okay
in
with
your
it.
Second
ass?
emotion.
But as far as I can, as far as I know, me and I mean, it's taken years, and I worked in a very sexual industry.
But see, so did Tarantino, and he said that desensitized him to sex.
It
He
didn't.
worked- he
No,
worked
like
in,
it,
he worked in strip clubs before when he was in his early 20s.
I think for me, it opened up my perspective of certain
You
situations.
appreciate a male's attention towards you too.
It opened me from being like
Brendan's trying to get those free drinks.
no,
Let's
it's
be
more
I
of
have a
it's
friend
more
that
of that
is
I
a-
grew up
I have a-
I grew up in a very kind of like, even though I grew up in the suburbs of Denver and whatnot, and I was pretty like all the little tags you want to throw on it, like when it came to gay situations, that was still beyond what could be. I had to figure things out on my own moving to Florida, and I had been exposed to a lot of different things, and it occurred to me throughout all of that who I am and what I'm willing to tolerate. I'll know how far I can go. Guys can be a part of this situation. The last thing I want is a dick in my mouth. That's just, I mean,
So up the ass is it's negotiable.
yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so all
Like, if
I'm
we're
s-
just putting it out there,
no,
like,
all I'm saying
just
is that
saying, like,
all I'm saying is that I wouldn't
some-
rule anything out because Jack Kerouac, a charming, handsome guy in the 50s, me drunk. Yeah, maybe.
that's
Maybe.
when you throw some
Well, I
alcohol.
had a
you
friend that
throw
would
some
actually
whatever,
ask
like-
me about Brendan. He's
And-
like, I
and-
think your husband's cute. And he's like, whatever. And I would tell Brendan, he was like, oh, I'm flattered. I'm like, well. And I would tell him, I'm like, man, he's
it is
flattered.
it is flattering, and it doesn't mean they're not going to be aggressive towards you. They just gay men are not predators. They just
They know what they want.
yeah.
They're also just
like
men.
anything else. There
and
shouldn't
I am-
be any discrimination of what you are, who you are.
In a
We're
two-party
all the
system,
same.
yes, I'm heterosexual, but I don't rule shit out just because I've never met the guy that made me decide otherwise.
Well, when I see myself a little bit like you, like there's women that like I'm attracted to and I might want to kiss, whatever, but I don't want to eat them out.
See, I'm really good at that.
So am I. That's one of my favorite things
Yeah,
to do.
me
I'm
too.
just
It's
saying,
that Kong toy.
I've never done it. I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's fine. That's something that.
But I
you're,
don't know if I would like. I've kissed a girl. I've kissed a girl.
I've never kissed a guy. I've never done anything with a guy. I'm just not ruling anything out. I understand that it's a spectrum. That in my younger days I was curious and nothing ever happened, but I determined that yes, women are what excite me.
Right.
And yet I can imagine a situation where a man in a time, in a place, in a situation could actually win me over.
And that's what attracts me to certain guys because
Yeah.
I love that openness. Because I think when people put that door down, I'm like, why? Like,
There's no reason to.
No.
You don't know until you know.
Right.
And it's such a tragedy to close yourself off
Yep.
to the biggest pleasures in
and
life.
that's what I think that's
Love-
the most attractive to me of people.
And love is the greatest thing in life.
Mm-hmm.
I've had it. I've lost it. I know it's the greatest thing in life. And why would you ever close yourself to it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a tragedy. Who cares who it is, who it's with? Don't just close yourself down. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a
Agree.
spectrum. You just haven't met the person that's put you on that spectrum yet.
And sometimes alcohol will help lubricate.
Alcohol absolutely
I was
helps.
going to say, how do we bring this
lubrication.
back down alcohol? Because we've been talking a lot about the stuff that isn't alcohol.
That's
but
true.
Jack Kerouac was a rum guy, I believe, which I also am. If I have to drink hard liquor, and I almost never do, it's rum.
Okay.
I prefer rum.
That's a
You
to-
can
good
get a
topic.
rum
What was your
That's a good
Marco-
topic.
Marco vodka, was it?
my
Anti-vodka.
my one that I can't or I can.
That you
Can.
can. That you
That I
still
can.
can.
Whiskey. You mentioned
yeah,
whiskey.
bourbon.
Oh, I can do whiskey
I've
too.
been a
yes.
pretty big bourbon guy lately, and I've kind of stayed a pretty big bourbon guy.
I have not tried
Actually,
bourbon.
lately I've discovered cognac, which
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Holy
what is-
fuck, man.
that
That's
reminds
a...
me of Saturday Night Live.
What exactly is cognac? I don't know.
it's like a distilled. It's great.
It's a brown liquor.
So
Okay.
yeah, it's kind of
I
like
It's on
picture a
the
bottle
sweeter
with a
side.
purple lace.
if wine was distilled, it's kind of the next.
That's Crown.
Is
the
it one
next-
of those?
Oh,
the
and
next
there's the
process
purple-
past wine.
Is it one of those
That's
blue
bourbon.
blood things where
bourbon?
rich people drink cognac?
For me, it's mostly a flavor thing, but
Okay.
I've always had an
What's that
affinity
Saturday Night
to
Live guy? Tim
French
something.
culture. And
What is the
that
flavor of
kind
cognac?
It's kind of
He
like a
did
sweeter
cognac.
whiskey.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I might like that. Bring some of that next time.
Yeah.
I'll you know.
Well, my thing lately has been a Remy Martin and ginger beer. It's really good.
Yes, ginger beer and anything is pretty good.
Yeah.
A dark and stormy.
Like a
we've
Moscow
talked
That's
Mule.
about
the
it.
other thing too. Is Moscow
Yeah.
Mules is vodka, and I can do Moscow's
I can't do
all
this.
day.
But obviously it's mixed with two other things.
Yeah, the ginger beer is great.
I stole
So-
a cup from a bar once.
Oh, yeah, we returned it.
It was on my birthday. We
Bad
were in
juju,
Denver.
man.
It was a.
Is
Like,
it?
like
I
for
feel
real?
Like that's good luck. If
Well,
you-
no,
No,
it was the other
I
way
still look
around,
it all the
and we
way.
had heard it was the other way around, and shit just kept
What
happening.
was it? It was a Moscow. It was a mule.
It
Whatever.
was a Moscow Mule, and
Yeah.
it was either from
Stole a
Sam's
cup,
number
put it
3
in.
or
I was
whatever.
like,
But it
and
was
then
we were
our
That's why it
downtown.
was
They have a
Sam's.
liquor license?
Yes, they
Sam's
do.
does?
They have
Yeah,
a full bar.
yeah,
Do they?
It's a wraparound too.
yeah.
Oh.
It's
I've
been
it's
there,
not
but
bad, but we were
I've
downtown.
been there, but I only remember a greasy
and-
spoon.
Yeah, no, we were downtown, and Tam had gotten
was
the
there too.
Moscow Mule.
Oh, it was my birthday. I'm like,
Took the
I want
cup
one of
because
these
it was this
cups,
nice
and I
copper
took
That's
it.
why
cup.
it's bad juju because it was Sam's.
I
You
took
can't
it.
fuck over Sam's.
Oh,
Guys, Gary will
actually-
haunt you in
I
your
have
dreams.
Well, I don't typically steal, but I totally took.
I don't typically steal,
Typically, I don't, but
but I make
fucking took this
exceptions.
cup.
There's a spectrum of stealing, guys.
Right.
There's
Hey,
a
this one
klepto
bit me in the
spectrum.
ass.
Stealing from
Well-
Walmart. I've done that by accident. I've been like, hey, fuck Walmart,
I've done
and
that
walked to my
too.
car.
I've done
Yeah,
that too.
That happened to me
If I'm
recently.
at the car and I realize it at that point, I'm too lazy to bring it back.
I did that
I've
in like
done that a
July.
couple times.
I'm like, you know what? Fuck them. And
Yeah.
I walked to my car.
Yeah. But this, I actually intended to take the cup, so that was my downfall because I'm like, I'll
that's
take
also why it
it.
was
And then
bad
we had a
juju.
horrible whatever, and I'm like, it's the cup. We
Things
actually
were
went
bad.
back.
Like,
We ordered a meal, and I
CUP.
left it on the
Yep,
table.
we
I'm
went
like,
back
I don't
and gave
want
it back,
this.
and I shit you not, things got better. It was seriously like bad juju. Like
I think
don't
I'm a
ever
karma
steal.
girl, and I think I'm a pretty decent person, so I don't know why it hits me so fast, but it does.
By decent person, she means huge klepto.
Yeah, but
No.
that's
the only
okay.
thing I ever did.
No, that
if
was-
it's
that
not
was-
bolted down, it's going home with Tam.
It's okay
That's
because
what I was saying.
it's okay because crazy chicks are kind of hot.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah.
I couldn't get
so
it back fast enough. I was like, it's this cup. And it wasn't even that great of a drink. But I like the cup.
It was all about the copper cup. But
Do things not taste weird out of copper?
I'm a simple girl. I like
I'm a
beer.
simple-
I
yeah,
like
something to do with
beer. I
copper.
like my vodka, gin drinks. But when the mules,
What
I
is in a
wasn't that-
Moscow Mule? I'm not.
I
I'm
don't even know.
so-
But it was
I'm
that
sadly-
great.
Vodka, ginger beer, and lemon.
Okay.
I'm
or
not a
lime
big ginger
juice.
person. Maybe
and
that's
if
why.
you have the
I'm
mint,
sadly.
you throw some mint in there.
I'm
I'm
very
plain,
inexperienced.
so I'm a
with
very
hard liquor
plain.
drinks.
I literally like vodka and seltzer, gin and seltzer. Like I
I
don't
do think
like.
the copper helps with the flavor because it's kind of acidic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's a list of all the hard
Sure.
liquor drinks I've had: whiskey sour, dark and stormy, Manhattan, old fashioned. That's about
Right,
it.
Well,
whiskey
those
sours
last two
aren't
will
bad,
fuck
That's
you
but
the
they
up.
classic
make you-
whiskey guy
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, but they're also the
whiskey-
most common drinks in America.
whiskey
so
sours.
yes,
They make me like a Campbell Soup kid.
A
'cause,
whiskey
like,
sour
they
is
make
what you-
like. By the end of it, you can
Yeah,
only have
they
one.
give you that.
and you
little
have, like,
and
sour
mojito.
bit in it.
mojito, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
mojitos
have
are.
cute dimples in general, though.
Oh, thank you. Mojitos
From
are
the whiskey
basically
sours.
they hand you mojitos in Las Vegas at stoplights. You just you stop your car and then there's a hand handing
Here's
you a
your
mojito.
mojito.
So I've had those. Those are good.
How do you
but
feel about mint juleps? Because
I
it's kind of
never
like,
had a
What's
mint julep.
julep?
it's like a mojito, but not as sweet.
It's a
just
Kentucky
very-
Derby thing.
It's just very whiskey and mint. I'm not a huge fan.
It's the
See, I'm
horse
not
racing
sweet.
thing. It's
I don't
the
know if I'd
traditional
like-
horse racing big hats kind of drink. It's like
But
Del
just to
Mar
have, I
and
can't,
Kentucky.
I can't appreciate it.
I can't promote any animal cruelty at this point.
I
Kentucky
fucking
Derby.
hate horse racing. And I
Tell
work
me how
in,
you really feel.
And I work in an industry that will not show the downside of it.
Well, I didn't know the downside of it until actually, sadly, this year.
I did.
My dad is a veterinarian, and he would do
No.
Large
Really?
animal?
both
Was.
large and small.
Oh, large and small.
So
'Cause he's
he
country.
would
Yeah.
he would actually give what's the dog racing?
Greyhound.
Yes.
Fucking evil.
Yep. So he
Evil.
would give like if you came in.
One of my
he would
college
give free vet
projects was
work.
I did a PSA against greyhound racing as a college project. It's just
It is.
fucking gross.
And
It's
so he
devastating.
would give like anyone greyhound whatever he would do like because that we were against that. But horse racing, I didn't know it was they protect that. I didn't realize that
The
until
horses are
this
more-
year.
well, the horses
there was
are
a
more
horse that
valuable.
was shot or not shot,
No.
taken down or whatever how they did
murdered.
it.
You could say it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad, we had horses, and we had retired
But
horse
also,
racing
Murder
horses.
Horse would be a good
So,
racing
like,
name.
I didn't realize it was
band.
that bad. But when they said that I was like, oh my God, I don't know how I did that. Like,
No,
I don't know.
every year at my job they promote
How?
Kentucky Derby.
How do they not see that? Because horses, like,
know.
Oh, they see it. They just choose to ignore it.
There's a website and I email it out every year and I'm like, don't forget the other side, and it's like horseracedeathcount.com.
well, they make this little spurt, and it's only like this
Yeah.
little bit, and that's it, and we're good.
Every single year I'm ignored, and they don't cover that side of the horse racing. It's a tragedy. It's a horrible fucking industry. But what makes it even more horrible is that the jockeys apparently are bulimic because they got to
They
keep
want to be
small.
lightweight.
They're already small people, but then they're bulimic. There's an epidemic of bulimia among
That
them.
I didn't know.
And then they are less valuable than the horses that end up getting murdered because
And they're
the
the-
horses are
yeah.
the champions. But rules say you have to have a human riding it. And that human is just a tool. The horse is actually more valuable. So it's bad across the board. It's a rich guy fucking versus rich guy sport. It's just
I
it's
didn't
just
realize
horrible.
that.
That's a really good way of putting it.
And-
Well,
actually.
because where I grew up, there's the horse racing, which the Kentucky
the
Derby.
buggies.
Well,
Ooh, chariots.
Yeah,
That's
the
where I
chariot-
grew up.
It's kind of fun to watch,
So-
man, because they're like way back.
when they
Yeah,
wanted,
like,
and my
oh,
dad
man.
is, like I said, he was a vet, and he actually had one of the horses that they used to race. And so
Mm-hmm.
in my head, and I never questioned him, and I don't want to, Dad, but he's definitely. I don't see him being like that because he went to us. Well, who knows?
I could see him doing what he needed to do if it needed to be done.
But hasn't technology caught up to where we can actually repair broken legs in a horse now?
Oh yeah. you
Well,
don't do
yeah,
that.
and see that's the thing is that would have been one of the horses they
My
would have had as
dad
kid.
would bring horses home that were retired or
Yeah,
whatever
see.
from the races. So I think my dad tried to prevent that. Now, I don't know what is nowadays because we were watching the Kentucky Derby, and this is only, 2 years ago, a year ago, and they were like, oh, they put that horse down. I'm like, why?
Oh yeah.
And it was just recent. And like Lisa, a friend of ours at Frolic, was like, no, it's like, it's a race. I'm like, oh no, they do that.
Bastards,
Mm-hmm.
man. Anyway, as we try to like focus on
Relay.
alcohol stories to round this out because we're an hour a bit in. And we've been all over the place, but I think that really comes
That's
down
alcohol
to
for you.
exactly it's alcohol. And
You're my best friend. I fucking hate you.
yes, exactly. And we've been
That's why you
doing
don't drink tequila,
Oh,
man.
speaking
when-
of that,
Don't
we've been
drink
doing this
tequila.
podcast for a handful of months now, and we really have never just kind of let things loose and be
oh man,
alcohol.
Oh,
What
so
are
we're
the-
just gonna talk about how much we hate Brendan.
one of the greatest.
Fuck you.
I'm sorry. One of the greatest tributes to alcohol comes from that band, The Refreshments, that we
Oh
talked about
my
once upon a time.
God.
And there's a song where it's like, "Barkeep, another Mekong, please. One for me and what's his name, my new best friend."
Yes.
That is fucking alcohol in a nutshell, right? It's just like everybody who is drinking with you is your best friend. You don't even have to know their name.
Right. And how many bars have we been in? I mean, it's not even worth counting. Where that's been the situation.
Think about the human race. How much does the human race have to credit to alcohol?
The
towards
entire
reproduction.
our entire way of life is credited to alcohol. We would still be chasing buffalo on the plains if we didn't discover that some things get us fucked up if we just wait long enough.
Liquid courage.
That's
Dutch
really-
courage.
Well,
Dutch courage.
it's more like kind of like almost a little bit of the beginning of what Matt just said. Like if it wasn't for getting fucked up, like all the other things that alcohol does for us afterwards, that varies on the person. You could get 4 beers in depending on, and then we talked about it earlier, depending on what you're drinking. You could become aggro. You could become like, hey, I'm ready for a threesome or foursome,
or
fivesome.
a dude, throw him in.
Or
Devil's
or dude
Devil's
or a
three-way.
chick.
Come
Exactly, right? Like 2 in the pig, 1 in the 4 in the stink. Who cares? Like
Wow.
I don't know. I'm throwing a
Four.
half a knuckle in there.
That's Brendan's
Half a
fantasy, I
fist.
guess. 4.
Talk about
Four
the
people.
spectrum. It's been burst.
Yes, exactly. I mean, and that's alcohol.
Four guys
for you.
in.
4 guys in.
Welcome to our podcast.
This is Tammy's show. It's 3 guys in now.
You're right. We're crossing boundaries. Holy shit. See? Alcohol.
Oh, I read a great thing. I in researching alcohol for this episode, I can't find it now, but I read a great thing. It's like, but the universality of the feeling it invokes is what caused people to settle down. It was like basically, yeah, we all get affected the same way, more or less. Some more extreme than others.
Fun happens.
But again, I don't promote Adam Carolla in this modern day and age, but he used to say, man, when my daughter turns 17, I'd like to take her to a park and just see what kind of drunk she is. And his son, too. He wasn't creepy about it. He's like, I just want to know as a parent, what kind of drunk are my kids? Are they, like, affectionate or are they fucking, like, fighting me?
Yeah,
It's
right.
like, I just want to find that out before I send them into the world because everybody's a different kind of drunk. And I think I'm a verbose... Well, relatively verbose, affectionate drunk. Marco?
I feel like it could be situational. What if some dude walks in that you absolutely hate? That could change the situation.
Why are you glaring at
quick.
Brendan like that?
What the fuck?
Let me just ask you this, Marco. Marco, the best drunk you've ever had. What kind of drunk were you? I was a
happy.
fucking awesome wingman. The
Happy
best drunk I ever had.
Happy
I was
drunk.
happy and I was fearless as a wingman. And I am not fearless around women in any capacity. They scare me. But the best drunk I ever had, I was trying to help my friend Cash beat a girl. And I would talk to absolutely anyone and be very charming trying to do it. Fearless, because it wasn't for me.
I can see that.
Yeah. I can't do it for myself.
Right.
Tammy, what kind of drunk are you?
I typically am happy. I love everyone.
Okay.
I'm a love drunk.
punch drunk love.
Kinda. I
Brennan?
love everyone. And if it's not for me, if I have a girl and there's other guys there, I will try to set that person up with the guys.
See, you mentioned that at the beginning of the episode. You haven't tried to set me up with some married
I love
friend.
everyone.
No, I said I know you.
Bartenders.
I know you're drunk
everyone.
when you
I'm
tried to
like,
set
I
me up
love
with
you.
recently
Come with
married
me.
people.
I love
Yeah,
you so
or that,
much.
whatever it was. Yeah.
You guys should be together. Come on. I love everyone.
The funny
I'm a
idea
happy
is
drunk,
like
for the
if
most
she
part.
wasn't just married, but if she was only engaged, I would have set you up. That's what I like about you, drunk Tammy. Brendan, what kind of drunk are you?
I might be the seal the deal drunk.
The predator.
I a little bit.
You're taking the bartender home.
Yeah, I look back at kind of some of the things that I did, participated in, was part of some of my memories. I don't know if I would have pulled through if it hadn't been for alcohol.
The confidence drunk?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I mean, even now, like when we video game together and stuff, when we're a few beers in, I start
feel like-
shit talking. I start doing
that's,
Yeah,
pretty well.
you are.
Like,
You've mentioned that on Twitter.
But-
It's been a problem.
yeah, I think the confident drunk. I become the confident drunk.
See,
I
I've
could
always
see that.
wondered what kind. Like, I've never been the kind of drunk who could actually approach women on my own. But again, as a wingman with nothing to lose, fearless.
I feel
Which
like
is probably more attracted to the women.
I feel
But
like as a happy
my approach
drunk-
was half that.
Yeah.
It would almost kind of be like, look, I'll be a wingman, but I'll also take her for my own if this is how this turns out to be. Like,
No loyalty there.
And kind of a little
Yeah.
bit. Like, I mean, I've had a lot of my buddies. Like, I guess maybe it's an athlete thing.
Confident drunk is dangerous, especially with a competitive person.
Exactly.
Because you could either be like, I'm going to talk to this girl, or this guy's been fucking bugging me for a
I
week.
think we're a lot
I'm gonna,
alike
I'm
in
gonna,
that
I'm
way.
gonna tell
Yeah.
him what's
He-
going on. I'm going to tell this guy that he's been on my ass all week. Fuck you.
Yeah, because I can you see
And
you
then that's
starting
where-
at it. I was like, oh,
that's
this
where it
girl,
de-escalates.
I'll take her.
So, in a typical barroom setting, Brendan and Marco would be fighting in the parking lot. Me and Tammy would leave together.
This is a great great person. Well, this is a great person.
Fuck them both. We're good for each other.
As they're fucking other people, I'm like, all right,
I can see that
well,
scenario playing out. I can see that scenario.
right.
Because you would call me out on bullshit,
Well,
which I would be
sometimes-
probably
but
spending a
that's
lot
why
of.
It's good to be the happy drunk because you don't
But,
have to seal
yeah.
the deal. It just happens. You're just
I
like,
am a happy
Yeah.
drunk. I love everyone.
It just happens. It just
I'll even
happens
text
for you.
people, which is bad because I'm like, and then I'm like, what did I say? Because I'm like, are we hanging out this weekend? I'm like, oh shit, I did love you.
I was like, I didn't know we were gonna hang
I
out,
love
but we just
everyone.
hung out.
I love everyone.
Yeah, I think the confidence that I don't normally have on a day-to-day basis comes back through alcohol. But
I think for me too, but mine's not typically. Well, if I'm in a happy situation, it's just loving people in general.
I've seen you on the other side of things.
I have
Chopped.
no idea. But
love everyone.
like for myself, like I don't know if I can get over my own personal hangups. But
That's what the alcohol's for.
Well,
I'm
exactly.
trying-
I was about to say what Marco just said.
I know,
like,
but exactly that. I would probably throw up first. But if my mission is to get Marco
That's
laid,
how you know how deep seated the hang-ups are.
if my mission is to get Marco laid, I am absolutely fearless. I'll talk to anybody
so,
for you,
I
not
think
for me.
I get that
good to
though
know.
because you have that. Because
I have to have zero stakes. Zero
I so
stakes in
relate
the game.
to that, Matt, because I feel like I'm very shy and insecure, and I'm not saying you are.
Mm-hmm. I am.
But
I'm
that's
very
how
insecure.
I am. So I would totally like, oh, this is for my friend, or would I would
Mm-hmm.
have no problem with that. But if it was for me, I'd be like, oh my god, I don't want to leave my house, or whatever reason, I wouldn't want to. I don't want
The
the rejection.
cheerleader
I have
drunk.
that problem.
Oh, I can't stand the
cheerleader
rejection.
Right.
I can't
Me.
stand rejection, but I am fearless when it's for someone else.
Exactly.
Because you're not rejecting me, you're rejecting
Exactly.
Marco.
No,
seen
Which
I'm
I
with you.
understand.
You know what's
Yeah.
my problem, and I don't know if how you thought that.
You don't
was okay.
understand. You don't
No,
understand.
no.
You
You're
don't
right.
You don't know
understand.
Marco.
You
When I
are
was
way
in the-
better than Marco.
No.
Marco would do a dude.
Marco's
I'm
like,
supposed to be
"Oh,
talking
I'm not
to you.
saying you look like a dude, but if you did,
Yeah, you got a high hairline, but still, it's the 5 o'clock shadow that really gets his attention.
It's when it starts to tickle. Oh, wait.
don't worry about not looking feminine. You look rugged.
Marco likes that you put no effort into your appearance tonight.
He doesn't judge. He doesn't judge.
I mean, look at him. Would he judge?
Aw.
But no, if it was for me, it'd be like, fuck that. I'm going home to jack off. I got porn and they never say no.
Going home to jack off.
I
Drunk.
can pause that shit if I have to.
Oh, whiskey dick is that
Is that a
happens.
thing?
Yes.
It is a thing, but it depends on the person because
Yeah,
And the
that's it's an
situation.
insult to you personally.
No, girls. Well, I don't know
Not
about other girls.
necessarily.
If I'm drinking, it takes longer.
Speaking of someone that has internal struggles,
Spectrum.
sometimes you just have like a light bulb that goes off in your brain that kills the situation.
Yeah, sometimes you just want nothing more than to go to sleep. And no matter how horny you were 2 minutes ago, now you're in bed and you want to go to sleep.
That's where toys come in handy.
Even toys. Have you ever fallen asleep jacking off, Tammy?
Nope.
Because it's a pretty embarrassing thing, especially when someone
have
walks
not.
into the room.
oh, wait a
Somebody you could have been
I
not
have
jacking
no-
off with.
That sounds like a
wait a
good-ass
minute.
sleep though.
That also sounds like a story that like needs more
It is.
explaining.
I'm like-
I work very strange hours. That's all I have to say about
My
that.
toy would be in the shower, most
I
likely,
have some
and I
working
wouldn't
See,
overnight
that's
relate
just
to that.
stories.
so environmentally irresponsible. That's a waste of water.
Waste water.
And we have a
Hey,
yawn
it's that
here.
shower head, man. It gives the different
Yeah?
vibrations.
What did you name him?
Actually, I have to say, I haven't really done that in years.
Okay.
I feel better now.
The correct answer is
Hey, I feel better
I
now.
feel better now.
My favorite toy, if we're talking toys, though, is the cock ring with vibrator.
Ooh, a cock ring. I've never tried that.
Oh, you should.
Kind of nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Make sure you get that MA rating on this podcast.
I typically hit explicit because I know we hit that moment. Like at some point,
Within
we
the first 5
definitely,
minutes.
yeah.
like,
But we're an hour and a half in, so
Oh
it's
man, that's about
That's
our
what
usual.
she said.
yeah. That's what she said. She's
is it
fucking
that-
sore
we
right
don't
now.
usually go that long.
Yeah.
Hour and a half.
I think
Well,
sex
it's
toys. can come-
alcohol.
That's
sex
that's
toys.
that's Sting status.
In fact,
hour and a half.
I
Yeah,
can't
this is
remember what we were supposed to say about Peter something or whatever at the beginning.
Peter Pants.
Peter Pants.
Peter Pants. Yes.
Peter.
That's gonna be the title of the podcast.
It's
yes.
Peter Pants. This
we
is supposed to be alcohol, but it doesn't get there.
If we ever move into video production, Peter Pants will be our debut film.
Yeah. There's certain toys that benefit both.
I mean, we are on video, but it ain't Peter Pants.
Oh man, I so want to write the fan fiction of Peter Pants. Maybe that's what I'll do on my
Peter
weekend.
Pants.
That's our new introduction
series
song.
of teen
Peter Pants.
novels.
Pants.
All right. Well,
Well, I can tell you're about to close us out, so
well,
we should have started.
getting close.
We should
Getting
have started
close.
with a toast, so we'll end with a toast. My favorite toast of all time is.
Oh, you want to jump right to that? Like I
Yeah.
was gonna. Okay.
Oh, if you want to set it up.
Well, I was gonna say I'm empty for a toast,
Is it
and
bad
you're
juju
about empty.
for us to all be empty?
Yeah,
Well-
Yes.
I feel like it kind of is.
we
So
gotta
you,
like
you guys need
yeah.
to, oh,
we should
you
at least like
are.
all split a
Well,
beer.
I
we-
have a few.
Well, we could go pour some more
We
real
can,
quick.
We can
and-
talk more about to Tammy about your sexual proclivities while you go fill.
Sure. Okay.
fill some.
Fine.
What, my favorite toys?
So a cock ring, is there a smallest size, and how big is that?
Doesn't
The
matter.
best thing about cock rings, it doesn't matter because it stretches.
Beer.
Now, is there
And
any?
there's two kinds. 'cause
Wait,
you
what
can
What
have-
is this? What does it do
cock
for
rings.
you? What
Are
does
you
it do
kidding
for
me?
you?
All right, so there's two different things.
Keep in mind, I've never had trouble staying hard. Go.
It's not about staying hard.
Okay.
It's more about, so you have the one I particularly like. I'm sorry if you hear our dogs. in the
Brendan,
background.
calm down
Hey!
over there.
I like. There's a
We don't need the
double-
demonstration.
My favorite is the double loop. So there's a
Double
Wait,
ring.
I've only got one cock.
Oh,
No,
that's the one that
All right. So there's one that goes around the
balls.
penis.
Oh,
the scrotum.
And you're right. Don't
okay.
the one that goes around the balls.
Okay.
So there's one that does both. But the one I like is you have goes around both, and then the one that's kind of on the penis has a little vibrator too with little fingers.
Wait a minute. That's for you.
Salad
me.
fingers.
So there's
I
a
always call it the
vibrating
salad
motion.
Fingers.
So it tickles. I'm all about vibration. So my favorite one is
They don't
that
make
will-
vibrators for men, do they?
Yes. That's my
It's
favorite.
on the cock
Matt.
ring.
Oh,
Matt,
okay.
that's my
Yeah.
favorite. It tickles
it.
the balls and it tickles
It's dual.
exactly
It's for both.
the,
people.
the clitoria
Both.
area.
Yeah. If we didn't ever hit his explicit before,
That's my favorite one because it's like both. Because hard isn't your situation. We were saying like you don't need help keeping hard. It's more just like it's more fun.
Sam's accent again. Hard.
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 It's hard.
Did you ever see that
I
Family
don't have an
Guy?
accent, Mark.
That Family Guy episode of the
Hard.
the Minnesota
Wait,
porn.
wait.
Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap!
Wait. Hard. Is that better?
That's
Hard.
That's hard.
Now
Hard.
do it as a
Am I
boss.
the only- Wait, man,
Dude in
where are you
Boston.
from?
I'm from Denver. Do it as a Boston.
We all
Yes.
have no accent except for you.
No.
No.
I just really practice accents. So do it in Boston. I'm so hard. I'm so hard right now.
Hard.
Oh God. Oh God. Do me so
Get
hard.
me hard in the car.
Hard. Is that actually the one
Hard.
word I've always been picked on was bagels?
Bagels.
Bagels.
Is it bagels?
These bagels,
Bagels.
are stale. They're so hard.
These
Are
bagels
these
are
bagel
hard.
chips? These chips are so hard.
Oi.
The dogs are getting riled up. So if we're ready to end this,
We're talking about hard bagels.
I mean, we could keep going, but that's just either more or
Nobody's
less
listening
editing
right
for me,
now.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's interested in anything anymore.
Okay.
Dana is very
Brendan has a lot of editing to do.
So
I'm not gonna do much editing.
Aww.
my favorite toast of all time is an Irish toast. It says, "Here's to you as good as you are, and here's to me as bad as I am. But as good as you are, and as bad as I am, I'm as good as you are, as bad as I am."
And that's true. 'cause
Okay,
we're not
I will
all
drink to
good.
that. Shish, drink.
Cheers.
I talk shit. I'm sensitive and I might cry a lot, especially in videos of animals. Like those Facebook, like, oh, we found this dog.
Well, at
Dodo
least make a
videos.
toast out of that. You're about to.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I cry a lot, but I'm not, I can be bitchy too.
Okay, here's to the sad dogs and being
Here's
bitchy
to me
too.
to be bitchy?
Show all the sad dog videos on Facebook.
To Sarah McLaughlin.
Okay. All right, Marco, what's your toast?
I can't watch
Mine's
those.
pretty simple. It's just santé, which is French for to your health, which is kind of also a classic English American toast. So. To our health.
Yeah, especially in a time of COVID.
Exactly.
Here's a less funny one. May God grant you always a sunbeam to warn you, a moonbeam to charm you, a sheltering angel so nothing can harm you, faithful friends near you, and whenever you pray, heaven to hear you.
I feel like you should be eating Lucky Charms,
Hey, cheers.
but I like that.
No one drinks like the Irish.
I have a Scottish toast up there, and it was "May your breath be reeking, for your gut be sinking." I don't know. I wish I could read it from here, but I can't. And it's a Scottish toast, but I'll
It
throw a
ends
little,
with sláinte.
yeah, a little cilantro, a little Irish in there too. Yep, or sneeze at the end of it.
So sorry.
She's a witch.
Burn me.
Oh
Try.
God. How about we just handcuff her and wait? That's a whole different episode.
3 guys in.
All right, thanks for sticking with us that long.
How many holes did we determine Tammy had?
Enough.
We gotta go. We gotta go in the back catalog now.